Hey everybody, welcome to Murphy's At the Table Experience. I say this a lot. I'm excited and delighted about our next performer/lecturer, but I mean it this time because I did a show with him at the Magic Castle. I was the MC, and he did a solid 7.5 minute performance. And out of all that material today, he's going to show you
none of it.
So we're going to do a whole bunch of other things. We had some audio issues earlier, by the way, but let's make it official right now. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Chris Randall.
Woo. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Who started all that?
It's Bugs Bunny, I think.
Bugs Bunny.
Bugs Bunny or one of them.
And you're going to lecture on that?
I will lecture on that.
Okay.
That was the lecture.
That was the lecture.
See you guys later.
One of these.
To Fremont. There you go.
Okay, so give us some insight, Mr. Randall. You are one of the few natives.
I'm born and raised in Las Vegas.
In Las Vegas.
About a mile from the Strip, actually.
You got some stories, baby.
I was raised on the backstages of the Strip. I was a roadie for illusionists my entire teen years. So I was pushing boxes and assembling props for Joaquin Ayala and Jonathan David Bass and the Majestics, Kevin James. I used to be a part of Kevin James's Operation Illusion, where he gets sawed in half and the body and the feet chase each other around the stage.
What, were you like 6 years old back then? You could fit in the...
No, from 15 till 30, I did a lot of assisting and helped out magicians and did roadie work. And then as I got older, my back started hurting, and a deck of cards was easier to carry around. So.
Hey, older.
Oh, it hurts.
Older and wiser. Your parents were both professional gamblers, lost you in the craps game at the age of 4.
Pretty much, yeah.
You won yourself back at the age of 9.
My brother got me, yeah.
Yeah.
He paid the mafia.
Yeah.
Vito Corleone got us for good. Actually, my dad was the reason I was born in Vegas is my dad was in the Air Force. He was Air Force One protection for the president. And so the last place he was stationed. Yeah, my dad protected 5 presidents from Eisenhower to Reagan. And so the last one was at Nellis Air Force Base, and that's why I was born there. Yeah.
That's so pretty cool. What was his title? What did he do?
Air Force One protection. So he worked directly with the
Secret
president.
Service.
Yep, yeah.
Fantastic. So did you incorporate any of that into your magic? See the segue?
None.
See how I did that right there?
None of it. But it got me where I wanted to travel the world. That's where I got really inspired to be a constant traveler like I am. I mean, I've done 36 countries.
You've done 36?
36 countries.
Performance and lectures, or mostly just lectures?
Lectures, gala shows with the Manipulation Act, a lot of TV work. So.
And you're going to do, coming up,
Friday.
The one I can't pronounce, the French one.
Oh, Le Cabaret du Monde.
Yes.
In September.
Well, that's pretty exciting.
That's pretty cool, yeah.
And how many Masters of Illusions?
9 episodes of the 13.
9 of the 13 just for this year?
Yeah. I shot 9 segments, how they come out on the episodes.
In fact, one of them you're going to do today.
Yes, we will teach that today.
Which, I might add, is if you're going to do one thing to grab people's attention and sustain their interest in a way that screams magic, it's this opening effect. You want to start with that one?
Let's start with that one. I'll stand up.
Okay.
Let's see. So.
And before you go into it, you do this on Fremont Street.
It's my opener. So mainly what we're going to talk a lot about today is street magic and my opener and my closer. Because in street magic, the hardest thing is to stop a crowd, to keep them there, and then
also
get them to pay.
known as?
It's the gather or draw. Yeah. I think I have the fastest draw. Gazzo kind of gave me that title that I have the fastest in the world. I don't do a very slow draw where someone's picking a card and then it's a small trick that grows into a bigger trick, and then maybe from 2 people to 10 to hopefully 100 after 20 minutes. I get the 100 in the first 15 seconds.
100 in 100?
Yeah, and if I don't get the right number, I'll fire the crowd and start over again. So, but
fire your audience.
It's actually my favorite thing to do. It's really fun.
And how do you do that before you jump into this?
So
this to me is as fascinating as the trick itself.
So let's say I'm going into the Bill and Lemon and I want the $20 bill. So I'll say, for the last thing I need to borrow a $20 bill. If I see people just aren't pulling out money, and I'll toss the marker to some people.
This is all they do?
Yep. I'll toss the marker to people and go, all right, sir, you have the red marker. Pull out $20, write your name on it. If he still doesn't do it, I go, well, next show in 10 minutes. Thanks, guys. And I just let the whole crowd go.
They disperse, and
then the people who really wanted to see the show will get mad, and they'll stay, and then they'll actually get mad at the people who aren't playing along. Sometimes when I get the girl for card to mouth, if she says no, it's a bad chain reaction where every girl will now say no. If the first girl says no, everyone after that will say no.
From experience, it's just become a bad running gag.
Yep, and if constantly where it just happens like that, where the girl will not come up, same thing. I go, all right, guys, next show in 5 minutes. A lot of street magicians hate firing a crowd. It's like some people, they will never fire a crowd. I don't care if it's one person, two people.
So you're known for building a crowd.
Yep.
As fast as possible, as many as possible, and you're known for firing a crowd.
Yeah, I try not to fire a crowd very often. I probably do it maybe once a week.
We're going to talk a lot about this afterwards, but let's jump in to see how much of a crowd you can gather here.
So I always, with my theory of street magic, mine is very short. My set is 15 minutes at the best. I mean, that's a long set for me, is 15 minutes. Like 12 minutes is a good set.
What, because other performers go longer?
20 minutes.
They've earned the money?
20 minutes to 45 minutes is an average street show.
45?
If you go to Europe, if you go to Covent Gardens, 45 minutes you'll see guys.
Covent Gardens in England?
Yeah. If you do festivals and fairs, a lot of fairs, the guys like Charlie Caper does like a 40-minute show and collects a hat off. Mine's 12 minutes, but I'm dealing with a different situation because I have Fremont Street experience. Fremont, I have a dome that has a light show that goes off every hour on the hour. I have
that you're competing with.
Competing with that, I have zip lines that go ahead of us. So in the middle of a trick, you hear woo, and zip line every minute. I have
laymen or professionals on the zip line?
Laymen, yeah. We have a new one that goes the entire length of the Fremont Street. Fremont Street is really cheap drinks, so people are really drunk. I have 80 decibels of ambient noise at all times. My speaker can only be 90 decibels of noise, so I can't. I'm only just a little bit louder than the ambient noise, and if I get any louder, I get a ticket for like $1,500.
$1,500?
$1,500.
Have you got one yet?
I've never got a ticket. I'm really, shockingly, Chris Randall is very well behaved. So I'm really
the one place.
Well, I'm that scared of the police. So jail will do that to you. So
do you take your philosophy here of performing fast-paced and in their face to Europe? Of 15 minutes or only?
Well, my act was geared and built for Fremont Street, as were a lot of street magicians. Chris Benz, Gazzo, they're traveling street magicians. Their act works everywhere. I don't know if my act works outside of Fremont Street.
You're going to find out soon.
Yep, I'm going to London next year, and I'm going to be there for 2 months. So I'll see.
Very
I don't
curious.
know.
All right.
I'm really curious to see, because my style also, I don't talk a lot throughout the show. It's a lot of music. Almost the entire act is music.
Well, this one here is universal, doesn't require any verbiage.
And the thing that kills me about this trick, so a little history on the Hummer card. So
well, come on. What's with this?
Well, the Hummer card is not with what we see with this. So this was developed by the Houdini's Magic Company at the UFO.
They get credit for all that.
Yeah. All the moves that you see was really developed by all the employees from Houdini.
Who had 8 hours a day.
8 hours a day of doing thread. So we came up with a lot of stuff.
You were Houdini's
I was
employee.
there for 12 years.
So this is, you're forced to learn this one.
You're forced to do this. This is, I mean.
And you do that effortlessly.
When you do it for 8 hours a day for 12 years.
Wow.
12 years I worked at Houdini's.
I've always wanted to learn this, and I never sat down and
what kills me is magicians, especially this, and I noticed the D-lights. Magicians will just pass it off because Houdini sold so many.
Because of Houdini's. And we always think what?
They think, every layman knows how it works. I have done this for 6 years now on Fremont every single day, only once or twice.
I got
did
that.
Someone say, I just bought that. And I just basically tell them the method. I actually say, you didn't buy the thing with the string with the tape behind your ear, did you? And they're like, yeah. I go, they got you. And I just show my other ear, and that's it. So I think it's really visual. It's what I do is I start with like top 40 music. Part of the lecture, I call it That's My Jam. I want music where when people are walking down the street and they don't see the magician or what he's doing, I want songs where, excuse the term, so if I want like party groups walking by and they're looking this way and they hear a song and they're like, that's my jam, and then they turn and now they see. So I go, I'll watch like the DJs and I'll basically record what songs where all of a sudden everybody rushes to the dance floor, where everybody goes, that's my jam, bless you. Gangnam Style was really good for that. A lot of modern music. I use, what's that? LAMFO.
That'd be a good name for a gum trick.
What's that?
I accidentally thought you said Gangnam Style.
No, it was whatever the Korean song guy. But one thing when choosing music like that, if it has a dance that goes with it, that kind of sucks too, because the people will start dancing in the middle of your show and you're like, I'm not a DJ.
Or a dancer.
I'm not a dancer, yeah. So, crispy good.
Self-editing, right?
I know, I gotta be good. So I always start with the card just on the ground. So I'll show you how to set up the card in a second. So I just start with the card on the ground. I'll yell showtime at the top of my lungs. One thing with street performing is you'll see guys just sitting there shuffling cards, waiting for people to stop. I start with such an urgency that they know the show starts now. And so I even say it's like jumping off of a cliff. The way I yell showtime, people are gonna stare at me immediately. And so I have to start and do something. So I yell showtime really loud, and then I point to the ground. Another really good tip for street performing that took me years to figure out is just standing on a milk crate. It makes it so much better. You can be seen, from really far away. All my magic is up here. Nothing's on the table. I think.
Is it precarious? Is it precariously balanced?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
It's danger man.
I also, I've fallen through one or two. I've fallen off of it because I kind of scoot around on it and it looks pretty funny. So I'll take the milk crate and I'll spin it on the ground first. I take the card, I set it on the milk crate, it moves across, it floats up. Sometimes I'll just set it on the ground. It goes from spot to spot.
Do they suspect?
And then I give it a spin. Immediately I hand it out. As soon as I hand it out, I get a coin out of their pocket, quarter, dime, nickel, penny. And this is good immediately to get money out of their pocket pretty early in the set.
Working your way up progressively.
Yeah, I just want to get them used to pulling money out of their pocket. And if I see that I'm having trouble getting change out of them, the Bill and Lemon's going to be really tough later on. So I just stick the wax to the coin. One of the moves that was really popular to Houdini's was this. So you go all the way under, halfway above, all the way under, halfway above.
That's not your pattern.
No. I do this all to music on Fremont. Everything's to music. I scream maybe 5 choice words throughout the set of this part,
Like?
Just, does anyone have a coin? Quarter, nickel, penny, dime, food stamp, receipt from jail, until they get it out. This is something cool. Hold out your hand. All right. And squeeze tight, 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 tight. Open your hand. All right, from your hand into mine. I think that's really cool because the coin is actually trapped in your hand.
Yeah.
Squeeze tight, 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 tight. Open your hand. So without touching it.
I felt nothing.
You can't feel anything. I'll scrape the wax off the coin. Get the card back from somebody in the audience. No. Get the card back from someone in the audience. Have them hold out their hand. You go nothing above. Floats right up. And then
you've covered all your bases for them thinking it's a thread.
And then this move I think really destroys their head. If they think it was I think the coin really destroys the idea of string. Then I close always with the around the body, which is really visual.
Dude, so effortless.
That was bad. So with the around the body, you don't want to move your head. You don't want to be going like this. I see this often, So it is.
Say, do that again?
You don't want to. I see people kind of helping it around, and they're not.
Yeah.
So the around the body was a joke. So Bob Hummer had a piece of hair that went to a piece of gum, and that went to the card. He would spin the card like this, and that was really the Hummer card. Matthew Minari, Gino's son, was joking around in the shop one day, and he said, he goes, around the body, as a joke. And when he stopped, the card kept going around. So the old way, a long time ago, was you would wrap the string around the back of your neck. So now if I toss it this way, it's just unwrapping off of me. This always looked kind of goofy, so I came up with actually shooting it around your body. So you're going to catch the thread right here on your middle finger.
Do we have string?
Yep. I'll show you that.
Well, we can do that later. Yeah.
So you're going to catch the thread right here on your finger. Like a car crash, like inertia, your hand is just going to jar forward a little bit. It sends the card around your body. Watch.
Well, that's just crazy.
And I think
so good.
The more effortless it looks, they really don't think it's a string. A lot of people think with string, it's about like seeing the string. It's really simple geometry. It's just, a straight line from your ear to the card, no matter where it is. So if you just remember, ear to your card, straight line, you have your hand wide open like this. So if I take and put it in between those 2 points, my hand wide open, it floats up to your hand. So if I bend my arm back, the card floats back, floats to, floats from.
And you've taught this a million times too. You take
Oh,
them in the back room.
Yep. I took him in the back room.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
If you want
my bottom palm.
if you want to bring it up to your fingertips, you catch the thread right here on your middle finger. I think this has a really cool look where it's at your fingertips.
So when you say Hummer, I get it now.
Yeah.
See, I used to think, and erroneously now, I used to think that the UFO was for lack of a better word, a
Hummer card,
ripoff.
yeah.
But it's an evolution.
Oh, it's a giant evolution.
Light years.
Yeah. This hookup is John LeClaire's hookup, just ear to the card like this.
And his book is Who's Afraid of Invisible Thread.
And thread has a very weird history with magic. There was a time in the 80s when people were claiming that they'd owned the rights to invisible thread.
Someone still does that.
Really? I remember I know 5 guys in particular who bought the rights and were sold the rights for invisible thread. It starts really with Al Baker, did a lot of stuff with invisible thread.
With long hair.
With long hair. Then Finn John in the 70s really revolutionized invisible thread.
You know who came up with the floating bill?
Mm-mm.
My buddy John Kennedy.
John Kennedy did it.
Yeah.
Right? Oh. And then they had like the Kennedy bill. Then there was like the ITRs, which were, I think, I hated the devices. I'm not a big fan of any of the devices. Yep. You see a little 10-year-old kid looking like he's smoking on a crack pipe. Yeah. And then you finally get it. And the object was very, like with the ITR and a lot of the floating bills, the object was very stationary. It didn't move. And then Steve Fearson, I think, gave the object movement, and around the same time.
The object movement?
Yes, with Steve's hookup where it goes over his head. I
thought he had kind of a up and down.
Yeah, it's a pulley system, so the thread goes from his thumb over his head to the cigarette.
But what do you mean by movement?
So the object can actually move instead of just wrapping a bill around the thread and you're stuck right here. Also, with Steve, since he used his body as a backdrop, you don't really worry about the lighting too much. When you have thread that runs like this, like the ITR and some of those setups, like the old floating bill, the lighting's a really big issue because
Is there any bad lighting here?
I do this on the street on the daytime, and I don't think so. Can you guys see anything?
Well, I'm blind. I don't know about you guys.
And I'm pretty blind too.
Wait, let me break the fourth wall a little bit. Any cameramen, do you guys see anything?
And these are bright fluorescent lights, and a lot of it is I'm using my body as a backdrop.
Does it help to have a checkered shirt?
It does help. Black shirt helps instead of a white shirt since it's black
thread.
Black
helps?
Black helps.
Really?
Because it's black thread. No, a white shirt sucks because now I don't have to.
Oh, that's black thread.
Black thread, yeah. So what's nice about like this as well, I just keep the wax on the card. If you have a top pocket, you're set up and ready to go.
And where's it hanging right now?
So now with like static electricity, it's kind of sticking to my shirt and just going right here.
Do you have a backup?
Yeah. I'll show you how to make one and how to have backup.
In case that breaks?
Yep. I have 12. So a lot of it I used to work a lot of restaurants, and so I'd have the thread set up. So this is invisible thread. You can get it at Murphy's. I actually use Murphy's. I would have my thread set up like in the back where the kitchen staff was. So I constantly had to run back there, set up another one. When I went to the streets, I couldn't really do that. Actually, my first month, I tried to. I had like a palm tree, and then outside I had the thread set up on a palm tree.
What's he doing with a palm tree?
You know what? It's funny. I stopped more people doing that, at the beginning than going, "Hey, do you guys want to see a card trick?" That didn't work. So some of the things you need for this, after years and years and years of doing it, what makes this a lot easier is, sounds weird, but get a tape dispenser that's on your desk like this. You're going to want to work with one hand to get the tape.
Why does that sound weird?
Just that getting a tape dispenser is a big deal, actually, instead of just getting a regular roll of tape.
Oh, you just need to be stable so you can do it with one hand.
There's lots of wax on the market. Yigo Masika has those little pellets. Michael Lamar's card-on sealing wax. I use like the medium kind of grade.
Medium grade of whose?
Huh?
Medium grade of Michael Lamar's?
Oh no, this is like Robinson's Easy Wax. It's like the little cheap $3 version. Like
from?
I think anywhere, every magic shop usually has them.
You know why I ask you these questions in detail? I really, truly want to learn this.
Yeah.
I keep saying, and you do it with credit cards, driver's license?
Credit cards, driver's license. When the cops pull you over, they think you're drunk. Take out your license, float it out the window for them. They go back and give themselves a breathalyzer test instead of you. That sold a lot of those for me. So with wax, you got to think about the climate and all that. So if I'm outdoors, Michael Lamar wax in 110 degree heat in Las Vegas is going to be really hard. It's going to be melting all over the place. The Yomasica pellets are a little better for the summertime because they're kind of a harder.
You do Fremont Street in the summer.
I go out at 8 p.m. I'm not going out in the daytime, but it's still 100 and something at nighttime in Vegas. Wow. It's brutal.
It's a dry heat.
It's a dry heat, yeah, right.
See that bird that exploded in midair?
It's 110. I'm dying, but it's a dry heat.
Yeah.
The tape will sometimes come off my ear because I'm sweating so bad out there. I'll lose my voice in the summer because it is so dry. I had polyps on my voice one summer. So trying to get the right wax is important.
So do you have different waxes or different grades?
I'll do for indoors, I'll use the medium grade for, like I said, in the winter time. If I'm working outdoors, I'll use the Michael Lamar wax because it's going to harden. So it's super, super soft, and it'll get, the Yomasica pellets I noticed in the winter, I can't manipulate the wax. Part of some of the techniques I have with this, you actually have to manipulate the wax. I actually tell people to practice rolling the wax. What that does is...
So between that and the palm tree, you got a lot of attention.
I do, I'm like... but you can also flip the wax around to the back of your thumb, so that way you can show your hands empty. You can say, look, there's nothing on my hands, and now you have it on the back of your thumb. If the thread is too long, you can shorten the thread just by rolling the wax up into it. So,
and what's the reason for doing that one?
If the thread is too long.
Okay.
Sometimes if,
because you're in the middle of it and you need to hurry.
Yeah, and I can feel, or if I broke really early in the set, and then I'm switching and resetting right in front of them. Mm-hmm. So,
is there any? I don't think you're leaving anything to chance here. You've done this. I'm going to put you on the spot with the math.
So 12 years.
10,000 times?
At least.
Yeah.
Because you got to think 12. I was doing 8 pitches an hour at Houdini's for 12 years, 8 hours a day, and I was their poster boy for a while. So I was always there. And then with Fremont, and now with lecturing on this trick, this and the Bill and Lemon, I think I have to have more time on this than anybody. When you get the thread, visible thread, you're going to get it in a little spool, cut off a piece.
Can you show us what the package looks like and where they buy it? That's from Murphy's?
This is Murphy's.
Okay.
It's only $5. They have pre-stripped, and then they have the non-stripped.
What do you prefer?
I like to strip the thread myself. I didn't really like the non-stripped.
Because they don't strip it the way you would?
I'm just a creature of habit, I think. I've done it this way since I was 12, so. So a lot of people think it's hard to see the thread.
Can you do it maybe against this?
So what we're going to do is we'll use it against a card. So you want to find a white piece of paper, or the whitest wall at your house. You find one piece of invisible thread, just like that. You take the wax, you roll it into the string. So the stripping out thread used to be really difficult, and the idea of taping it to the wall like this is Steve Fierson.
We used to use nylon, and I just didn't.
The pantyhose.
Couldn't be bothered. The pantyhose.
Yeah.
It was legs, I think we used.
So you have one end. So this is, I thought, was a good evolution for me in the streets. So you strip up the string. When you get to the top, you pull. You have one piece of string.
Whoa, okay, you got to do that again. That was just so boom, boom, boom.
So you get this, okay. So now I want to be able to work with one hand. So you have the tape. You wrap the string around the tape. You fold over a little tab. You want a card that has black space in the middle, since it's the wax, as you roll the string into the wax, it's going to become black wax. So you want black space in the middle. You don't want, empty space in the middle, because you'll see the dot. So you take the tape. So with the tab going that way, I just wrap the string.
And this is just for storage?
It's for storage.
And this is not what you want to do?
No. For some reason, this always worked better for me.
Creature habit.
Yeah.
And you don't put any V cuts?
No. So now you have this you have tape, string, and then wax.
And how many of those do you have?
So I'm gonna do, with Street Magic, I try to set a show goal, not like a financial goal. I don't say like, I need to make $300 today. I go, I'm gonna do 6 shows. After doing it for years and years and years, you'll find what your average is. So my average is gonna come out to $50 a hat. So most street magicians, and like most magicians, they lie about what they make out there. And so, I do $100 hat every hat and $250 a hat, and that doesn't happen. So you just,
if anything,
usually you
lie
cut it
under.
Yeah, like I don't want people going out there thinking, there's a lot of money out there. I always say like, it's awful out there. I died last night.
It's 110 degrees even in the winter.
No one wants to go out there. You can't stop anybody. I frustrate people to go out there. Because when Fremont first started, there's only 2 of us out there, 2 magicians. Now there's 9 little copies of me, which is, I've kind of started a new style that made it a lot easier to stop people, especially with the music and being very visual, not talking very much. I have like 9 students on Fremont right now, and they do almost verbatim my act, which is fine with me.
So let's see, you take 10% for each one.
I know. I use the favors. I'm like, I need a ride home today or something.
Now, let me ask you, did Fremont encourage it?
So it was always legal to do it. And what happened was a character who was Zorro was walking in front of the Venetian one day, and he was taken into custody. They told him he couldn't stand there and wear a Zorro costume. And it's America, and you can wear whatever you want on any street corner. It's the First Amendment. And so he sued the Venetian and the police for like $2.5 million.
That's a nice tip.
And so what they did was, it came out in the newspapers that the police were told, if you see street performers out there, leave them alone. So this came out in the news, and then once a few people read the article, within a few weeks, Fremont and the Strip started having people pop up, and we found out it was legal the whole time. We have ordinances we have to pass, that we have to follow. Like this is about 6 feet. This table. So around the size of this table is this area that I have to perform in. So there's...
It's not like Venice where you can do leaps.
It's kind of like Santa Monica, where it is a spot system and it's a lottery system. So every day from 9 to 5, I have to sign in with my number, and they assign me spots. So they can be crappy spots. You can get a spot where you're right by a concert, and so they can't hear you, which happens all the time. Which is good, which is okay for you. It's okay. I want my music to be heard instead of using their music.
Oh, I thought you meant the voice. Right.
Yeah.
You want the music heard too.
And I'm for my hat lines and for borrowing the bill and getting into Inception, I need to be heard there. So you want to be away from break dancers, and what's good is these 6-foot circles. You can't leave your 6-foot circle. All of your stuff has to fit in there. What's nice is that got rid of like all of the break dancers. So also they're 40 feet apart. You have to rotate every 2 hours. If I step out of my little circle, it's $1,500 fine. If you keep doing it, you can be 86th for a year. You can be arrested.
Just forced Chris Randall to be.
I know. Oh God.
This is
counter. What's really good is, so we have marshals now. We have 4 marshals who come up and walk up and down and check on us and everything. And this is kind of new. We had just security before, and then randomly the cops here and there. Now we have 4 marshals who are they're assigned to us. And sometimes we had another street performer who's a saxophone player, and he works for the Fremont Street Experience. He hates all of us with a passion. And so one day it was my assigned spot. I had to play across from him, and he was getting angry that I was having a big crowd and he had nothing. And Gazzo was there that day, so I was really showing off for Gazzo. I was like, all right, I'm gonna show off for the master, really destroy the saxophone guy. So he called the marshals on me and, tried to get me in trouble for whatever he could.
7 feet, 7 feet.
Everything. He tried everything. He said my speaker was too
80
loud.
decibels.
80. They pulled out the decibel reader and they had my speaker. They checked everything and said, no, Chris is totally in the right. And the guy looked at me and goes, do you know a guy named Michael Lamar? I was like, yeah. He was like, I love magic. Oh my God. I was like, yes. I was like, I reached in my phone. I'm like, he's a friend of mine. Let's call him right now. Let's FaceTime him. And we FaceTimed Michael, and Michael's like, oh, Michael's the sweetest guy. And he's like, oh. So the guy, to this day, like, he's got my back.
That's great.
All because of magic tricks.
And that was Jeff McBride moonlighting.
That was Jeff.
Yeah. Cool.
It was Magnus moonlighting.
I don't have Michael Lamar on FaceTime.
So you're going to get you need spacer cards. So these are the cards you're not going to be using.
What's that? Cyril?
Cyril?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
David? Oh. Name drop?
Wait. Jesus? Okay.
I'll text Lance. Okay.
Creator of the universe.
So you're gonna want to. I'll make 12 of these for 6 shows.
Wait. Let me catch up. You make 12 for 6 shows.
Just in case, a backup for each show.
Oh.
So just in case, and I have students.
That same one doesn't last all night?
I break it every show. I actually purposely break it. I used to do the Lifesaver, Sean Fields saw trick.
Yeah.
And so I had rubber cement here. But I'd have like rubber cement here, so if I put this away, the thread would attach to it. And a few times I pulled the mint out of my neck, and then there was a floating card hanging from that too. So I was like, I got rid of this anyway. My neck was. I did 4 years of that trick. Oh my God, I did it. It's meant to be done once a night.
It's meant to be done
6 times a night. I mean, all of my shirt. My dry cleaning was awful because there was this glue around here. My neck was always hurting. People, I think, thought I was on crack. So I'm like going like this on the street, getting all the crap off me. So I break it every show. So I'll make 12 of these. Like I said, I'll go out and say like my average now is 50. So it's going to average out like I'll have a $20 hat, and then I'll have a $70 hat. I'll have a $3 hat. But I won't have a $3 hat, but I'll have like 20 is the lowest I'm going to get because of Inception.
Let me ask you this. Have you ever done this? You go, you know what? Hey, honey, let's go out to eat tonight. Wait a minute. Let me do a quick set.
Actually, I did. I was dating a stripper for a while, and she was like, a lot of women I've dated.
The magic will be coming soon, but the stories are worth it. This is a great.
And she was one of the only people who really like appreciated that I can just go out there and make money when I want it and leave when I want it.
With no pull.
I have financial freedom. I can come and go as I please. I'm my own boss. I don't have to. If I want to come do this, I don't have to take off work or get somebody to fill in for me. I just don't show up. It's awesome. Like I get to do magic for a living. The streets, I think a year on the streets is like 10 years indoors because you're doing just show after show after show. And if you have a bad show, like if I have a bad show sometimes.
They're gone soon.
Sometimes, let's say we're working the castle and you do your last show for the castle week and you have a bad show. You're like, oh God, I'm not back here for maybe 6 months. And so it festers on your head, and like street performing, you just do another show right then and you're over your bad show.
It's like the restaurant business. It's turn and burn. You get one bad tip, the next one's coming along.
Yep. And that's why my average will come out to $50. So like I'll always say like.
So you're going for $300. You're not going for the money. You're going for the.
Yeah, do a show like when I was trying to. I had my own show at the D for a while. I was trying to make $500 a day. I was doing 10 shows a day. I was killing myself, but I was doing 10 shows a day, making $500 a day. A lot of my students started off at like $40 a day, $60 a day. My favorite student is a guy who was an older guy. I think you met him the one day. He's, he started magic very late in life, and he was making like $40 a day. He's making $400 a day now, like every day consistently, just doing.
Did I see him at his 40 or 400 phase?
You saw him in between when you came down and visit with Ricky that one day, and he met him, which is funny. You scared the crap out of him because he does a lot of your stuff. So when he looked up and saw you, he was like, "Oh my God!" He always does. Was it the ringleader, whatever? That's his second trick in his set.
Oh, cool.
So he does this, then he does ringleader, then he does Inception is his last thing.
And what's the D?
The D is it was the Fitzgerald, and now it's a new casino.
Okay.
This guy Derek is buying up all of downtown Las Vegas, and he bought like 2 more places the other day. And his goal is to privatize the street and get rid of all the street performers. So yay! Save my money. He can't. It's a First Amendment rights. Actually, yesterday we had a city council meeting we had to go to. Where we'll talk with the mayor and tell him how the spot system's going, what could be improved, and we actually have him.
The mayor, Mr. Amar?
Yeah, no, I just bring Michael with me. I should just have him on FaceTime when I go into these things. Hey guys, it's Michael. And we actually have a say in what happens with the street performing, and it's not just, oh, here's the rules and screw you. They actually give us a say in some of this.
Good to hear. Okay, so I'll let you teach the way you normally teach and go into more detail. You want to use the string now?
So like I said, especially, it's just, remember it's a straight line from here to here, from your ear to the card. So I'll start with a fresh one. Okay. So to start, you just grab
Now, why are you starting with a fresh one?
Just to show you from this.
From the inception.
Yeah. So you got
Inception.
From the inception. Whoa. I love that Amazon bought Inception from me thinking it was the movie. I was like, I'm going to name all my DVDs after movies. So you take the wax.
This one's Gone with the Wind.
You let the card unravel. I put this in my mouth. Mm-hmm.
Did you ever measure it, or it's just a...
So that's why I say, like, right now it's too long. So now I'm rolling the wax. Okay. And just, I could feel it getting...
And the wax still is sticky.
Yep. So...
And where do you have an arm's length?
Arm's length. You want it from your ear to the end of your hand. So like this is even too long, so my arm is kind of reaching. So you want it a little shorter.
Man, there's nothing, I mean, every inch you've got this thing.
It's all about the spin, you know. You can start with the thread hooked over your hand.
What if you're off? Is it dead
It's
center?
dead center, yeah. Because I can see the spin is off sometimes, and I'll readjust it.
It's like revolution. You got to get the hole in the very middle, or it won't.
I don't have nails for that. So I think the best is the coin. I think the best thing is in their hand. So some cool ideas with the coin. When you stick the wax on the coin, you flip the coin upside down. So centrifugal force, yes, I know that word, will actually keep the wax on the bottom of the thread. So if you can see right here, you can see no attachments on the thread.
Yeah.
So you don't see wax on it while it's floating.
How is that? That's, you know what? I'd never really thought about that.
And so I think this is the best. This is the Magician Fooler. So if you just give the thread, so right now.
So it's in the gully.
Yeah, the thread is running from here to here. Now, if I let you close your hand now, you'll break the thread. If I lean forward, I'll give it slack, and now you can squeeze it, and you're squeezing the thread.
And they never move away?
Tight. Nope. I'm really picky of who I pick, you know. I let them open their hand slowly. Sometimes I'll hold their hand open, and then I'll just stand back.
I love it that way. This is better,
yeah.
I think, because you got this length of my fingers and your fingers.
And all I'm doing is just standing back. So it's not a practice thing. You know, you're just standing back. Now, you know, the move that was very ripped off from us by a lot of people, all the way under, and then halfway above. So if this is the string.
So I just thought it was common.
No, it's Julie Detmer from Houdini's. So this is the string. You go all the way under, halfway above, all the way under, halfway.
Okay, where is the string?
So imagine this is the string.
This is the string here.
Yep.
Well, wait a minute, I'm confused. If that's the string, because that's the bottom.
Yeah.
Okay, right.
So we go here.
Yeah, that's so deceptive.
And you just got to keep your finger really straight, keep your wrist straight, and it looks really. The good thing I like about having this thread on my ear is I can always feel if the thread is breaking. I can feel if it's tense. With some of the devices, you don't get that. You can't feel the thread's about to break.
John LeClaire talks about that.
Really?
There's a sensitivity there, so he knew where.
And I can feel it like for around the body. I can feel it running across my face. I can feel if it's hooked on my sleeve. Or right here on my collar. That'll sometimes happen. It will catch up on your collar sometimes.
And what will happen?
Just
tighten it a little bit?
You just kind of unhook it. It will happen. Like I'll have it.
You mean it'll wrap around?
Yeah, it'll just kind of go under your collar. And I just always lead from my ear, and you can always get the card back. Just lead from your ear.
And that's a trick in itself.
Yeah. So sometimes it won't make it all the way back around my body. So let's say I'm like this, and it's stuck behind me. I can just go from my ear, whoosh, and it'll go back to my hand. So now I have control over it again. It's not the prettiest thing in the world, but it's better than having a card hanging off the back of you. I think I hated restaurants. I wasn't good at I didn't like restaurants because I was a waiter for a while. So I felt like I was a magic waiter, and I was just still waiting tables. I hate even doing like sometimes cocktail parties and doing the approach. So what's nice about this is I'll just leave like an ace of spades like sticking out of my pocket. And people are like, what are you, a magician or something? I'm like, oh, thanks. That was nice and easy. Hold out your hand. And then I have them from then. And as soon as you have somebody hold out their hand, a lot of attention happens on them. And it makes for good attention. People are saying like, oh, what's going on over here?
A crowd begets another crowd.
And I do a lot of private parties with this. I did an event at the Wynn. I worked with two other magicians, and they were like, I can't believe you're doing the UFO. And they were almost upset the whole time because
you get all the attention.
Oh, you get all the attention.
That's cheating.
It was, yeah.
You're too good.
They couldn't believe, you know.
If they had it as well, then it would be a win-win.
Well, the funny thing is,
too, the guys win at the win. Oh, come on, you interrupted that one.
The two guys actually both worked at Houdini's too, and they're like, oh, we did so many hours of this trick. They're like, we never want to do it again. But I think it's funny, so I'm going to be on Masters of Illusion Friday, and the first thing they picked was this in the middle of the audience. It was one of the highlights, and I know it kills magicians. They're like, Randall got on Masters of Illusion with the damn UFO. You know, it's like getting on with the delights.
I have to admit that thought goes through my head.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
and it was great for me at the beginning.
You just say get over it, right?
Yeah, and not only that, at the beginning for me, I loved that no one would touch this trick. So now everybody saw it's the ultimate way to stop people on the street. I can stand on the milk crate and just, even if the whole getting on the ground thing didn't work, but almost always does. The nice thing also is when I'm on the ground and I'm like doing all this stuff and I like draw a little circle on the ground and, you know.
Or have your shadow do the
make
work.
It like yeah, I do the shadow stuff. What's nice is I'm looking down and I'm not looking at the audience, so I just start to see feet starting to appear. And when I see enough feet, that's when I just stick my thumb to the wax and I like stand up and then I tell them, you know, you guys can come closer. Don't worry, I'm not a timeshare. I know Fremont's crazy. It's like Walmart and Disney had babies down here. And then they'll start coming closer. They'll realize, okay, he's not like a typical magician. I even will say, like, ladies, come closer. I know women hate magic. Hang in there. It's a 12-minute act. I'll make it really fast, you know. And then, you know, women will come closer, and it helps, you know, for drawing a crowd. It helps for controlling my crowd because now I can get the coin from this guy. I can have this person hold out their hand, so I can pull this person closer, and then you'll notice that they'll start forming the crowd for you. The poker chip.
In what way? They create.
Well, if I hand out the card to this person, get a coin from this person, and now when I do get the card back from this person, I'm gonna have someone over here hold out their hand. I'm planting people, and then their group is gonna kind of follow them. Other people are gonna follow them, and you get your crowd pretty quickly. I can't sit there and do a slow draw where it's, you know, you're starting with one trick and then that builds into a little crowd. And like I said, those sets sometimes are like 30 minutes, 20, 30 minutes. Fremont Street, people have so much to go do. There's so many distractions. If your act isn't 12 minutes.
I like that you tell them in advance so they know if it's a sprint or a marathon.
Yeah, and I also used to say, I'm going to do three things. I'm going to do pure sleight of hand, something impossible, and then something disgusting. And so
who's not going to stick around for that?
So, and then they know there's only three things. That's I kind of hate when someone comes up and goes, "Can I see a trick?" They don't want to see a marathon of magic. They ask to see a trick. I've lost tips by going, "All right, I'll show you this too, and I'll show you this too." If I just do ambitious card Omni deck and just hit them with one trick like they asked, I notice my tips are better actually. They just want to see something cool. They don't want to see like a whole show. That's why I keep mine very, very short. And now that I've cut the lifesaver, I only have 3 tricks in the act.
And you know, human beings are hardwired to hear the end of a story. So if you say once upon a time, they have to hear happily ever after. So when you said, and something disgusting at the end,
yeah,
who's not going to stick around for that?
And that's the biggest draw, is the something disgusting. But I think it's a trick that was overlooked for a long time. And spin the coin on the table, and it looks like it's not attached, and then float it.
Now you say you start this from the ground.
Yeah, so I start on the ground. Like I said, I'll make a little.
Can we?
I'll make like a little.
Can we do that here?
Well, it's the same thing as on the table.
I mean, because I thought maybe it goes up higher, it looks more spectacular.
No, it's a way to focus on.
It just inches.
And it just looks odd that this guy is doing something on the ground. Like, you have to have something that looks interesting or strange. I used to wear like a bright pink shirt, so that way I stood out in the crowd. Now I kind of go with a more normal of a character. But a lot of the characters will have, like Chris Capehart. Chris Capehart wears like Asian jackets and he's a black guy. It just looks weird, his costuming, but that's what you kind of need for street performing. I don't believe that you have to look dirty. You'll hear people who have a theory that if you look dirty, you look like a street person, you'll get the money better, but if you wore a suit, that you wouldn't get the money. I noticed the opposite. When I did wear a suit in the wintertime, I got more money because people said, wow, it looks really professional. I make a comment at the end of my act where I say, I say I don't drink, I don't do drugs. All the money that you guys donate actually goes to my career. So at the end of the show, don't come up to me and say, hey, you should be on America's Got Talent, because I'm going to say, hey, you should tip more. So, and then, so I let them know that like the money's not going for drugs. Like on the Fremont Street, I have like flower twisters, and where you can see they're buying meth with with the money, and you can see like homeless Mickey Mouse, and you see Mickey pop his head off and drinking beer, and you're like, oh, dude, come on.
Okay, here's the obvious question. Everything you've done right here can easily be transferred or translated into trade shows.
Yeah, it's a trade show.
More money.
Trade show is an indoor street magic.
Yeah,
that's what I just started looking into it, because Chad Long actually was starting to help me and said, I think you'd be great at trade shows. If you can, all you're doing is drawing a crowd.
You'd be unfair at trade shows.
And because, especially with the music and the way I've scripted my show, one thing that I always suggest to people, we were talking a little about scripting earlier. I have a sound system and a microphone. I noticed that the first year of street performing, I didn't have a speaker, I didn't use music, I did like a typical Gazzo kind of table card act, when I kind of switched and went to this newer style, I got rid of the table, I got rid of anything that's on a table. Like, I'm sorry, but I think cups and balls is the worst street trick of all time. And it's like the trick that everybody starts with. They're like, oh, I'm gonna be a street performer, I'm gonna get a little hat, I'm gonna get a little thing that nobody wears anymore.
A closet.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna get, cups and balls that nobody past the second row can see. That's why the milk crate is so good. Everything I do is really up here. But the first year I was doing a lot of card stuff, a lot of like close up, and not really like a show. When I started to do a show, I still didn't really have a microphone, and it was a blessing for the first year. I had polyps on my voice, I was spitting up blood in the summer, but I learned how to script my show. Magicians and a lot of people will, when we have a microphone, every little thing that we say under our breath, or like little jokes for our friends in the audience, if we have a microphone, all that stuff, you can just, whatever you say, everybody hears. If you have to scream at the top of your lungs, your scripting will get a lot better. Like, I won't say at the top of my lungs. I won't do a joke under my breath. Like, every word is crucial.
Very economical.
I need to borrow the bill. I need to hand out the ropes. I need to educate them on the hat line. Like, all the rest, all the jokes and all that, they can kind of get out of there. I get down to exactly what you need. A lot of my students, I tell them the first year, I'm like, please don't get a sound system yet. Like, learn your scripting first, and then the mic is like your prize.
They're getting all this for $10?
$10.
Are you kidding me? So if you do trade shows, you just mix your magic with the marketing message, and it's the same thing. You script here, and your paycheck, you add 2 zeros.
Stay indoors.
Oh,
Stay indoors. Oh God, air conditioning. That would be awesome.
Then you'll have a new lecture to teach. So.
Oh, if I did trade shows, I don't think I would ever teach it. I don't think I ever would.
So let's, what are the basics? So when you spin it, you spin and just let it go, or you spin and hold it here?
You want to spin, and you're going to catch the thread right here on the little crotch of your hand. So you catch.
Okay, and just do that. That's the first thing you do.
That's all you need, really.
Step one.
Now, if you want to bring it to your fingertips with your middle finger, you loop the thread over your middle finger.
Okay.
And that'll bring it up to the fingertips.
Okay. Give us like 3 to 5 steps that you would do. Okay, that's one, which looks so cool.
If like I said, with the around the body, that kind of jarring motion, that little jarring motion, you can send it from hand to hand.
So, explain that one more time.
So now it's over my middle finger, and I'm just like jarring my hand forward, and it's going to fly off of my finger over to here.
And you're deflecting it that way, though.
Yeah. Around the body, you're going to do the same thing, but this finger is going to send it around the body.
Okay. The first time you sent it that way.
Yeah.
And now you're sending
That's the one that like has a nice whip to it. Like on Masters of Illusion, I saw the clip already. It does whip around
because
really
of the tension.
And that's the other reason I don't like elastic thread, because I want this to be, I want to know exactly where the card is going to be. A lot of the times when I go back around my body, I'll kind of close my eyes. So I'll go like this in lectures a lot. I'll go like that. And so I want to know exactly where it's going to go. If it's an elastic thread, it'll go a little further out. It'll go further in.
You prefer elastic?
No, this is just regular woolly nylon. It's by far the best.
Do you say wool?
Woolly nylon. You can also use Steve Fearson's Vectra thread. It is a thicker thread, and I think it's a little visible in daylight. I noticed one of my students uses it, and he has to constantly switch into the shade. It's not. I think it's strong as hell. It's really, really, really strong. It can hold up the weight of, I think, a full Coke can. It's really good, but I think it's better for indoors, and you can do $50. That's one thing when you save, take out a coin. It'll hold the weight of a $50, regular invisible thread, but you can tell it's really pushing it. The coin, when you do the coin, it's actually winding the string, so it will snap eventually. As with the card, doesn't have enough weight to it, it's not actually winding the string. So it'll snap less if you just do the card.
You don't have to unwind it going the other way?
No. With the coin, you do, actually.
And what do you do? Just hold it there when you're done?
I just snap it every show anyway.
That's right.
And then it's basically a yo-yo. It's a spinning thing on a string that the more you practice, the more tricks you can do with it. Like I said, the basics are really just setting an object on the table and just standing back. It looks still pretty good. That's really the start of my draw, is just on the ground. And can even go sideways.
You know about Johnny? The little Johnny?
What was that?
With the con on the streets, the street con Johnny?
No.
You don't know about this? I have to remember what country I saw this in first. It was a great scam. Love a good scam.
Yeah.
So there's two guys involved with invisible thread. And they've got a little, I don't know if it's paper, they got a little man, moving about and doing his little thing. And you're going, what the heck? And it looks like one guy's doing it, but there's another guy with a bag. And he's manipulating while the other guy's manipulating, and they end up selling it. And nobody can do it because you need two people.
That's something I wish I had a vending license. Some street performers like Tom Frank makes a ton of money just selling Svengali decks after the show. Stephen Brundage now, he sells Rubik's Cubes at the end of his show.
He does a street show?
He does a street show. He does Inception. He does a Rubik's Cube. Comes down to Fremont with me a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
Does he live in Vegas?
No, I think Albany. But he travels so much since he kind of got a hit trick, and after Fool Us, he got a lot of attention. But yeah, he comes out all the time. Chris Benz from Chico, California, just moved to Vegas. He's a good street performer. And a lot of them are like Cellini students. I'm not really a fan of like Cellini's style. It was, like I said, very talky, and
but Gazzo's talky.
But Gazzo's got a personality that's, you're there, you don't care what Gazzo does trick-wise, you're there to see his personality.
And it's you know what it is? It's like a car accident. Did he really say that?
Yeah, and he's mild now. I just saw him in Vegas, and he lectured for us, and he's the new act. He has a new act, and he doesn't do cups and balls anymore. It's basically like card to orange and egg bag is the main thing. And he sits down the entire street set now, which I thought was kind of cool. I would love to get away with that and sit the
like
entire.
A stool?
Yeah, well, he does the stool where the thing pops up at the end.
Right.
So that's kind of his ending. But I would love to be able to sit on the street and do a magic show. One of my friends actually he hurt his leg, and now he's doing his entire show out of a wheelchair. Same show.
Oh, sympathy! You should get the wheelchair. At least get a placard.
I do divorce jokes, that kind of works with me. I do that, or when I was going to go on America's Got Talent, I would tell them, you guys are actually helping my journey to America's Got Talent. And I would say,
heartstrings.
Oh yeah. I would tell them, and it takes $30,000 to get on the show, which it doesn't, but it just sounded really good.
No, tonight.
Yeah, I know. I need $30,000 now.
Bring out your checkbooks.
Yeah, and they really went for it.
Hey, I know they want to see more, but let me ask you this, because this is now for me. Now I'm a greedy little pig. So when you spin it the first time, you do the deflection with your left hand, and it goes here to here. And you got another one where you deflect it this way, and it goes all the way around. But you did something where it went,
huh?
What was that?
I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, that. What is that?
Oh, so you're deflecting it just this way. It's the same. You're moving your arm forward.
Okay.
And it's just slipping off your middle finger.
But it looks like it went around and over.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's it. It just went around.
It's just going under my hand.
Under the hand.
It's just going under my hand before it takes off. There are moves like this where you go through your hands. You don't prefer that? I don't like it. A lot of the Houdini's people
Okay,
did
now
it.
when that happens, I'm glad that happened, actually.
So if it happens early in the set, I'll reset in front of them. I'll just grab another card, and that's when I'll say, does anyone have a coin? And I'll put the attention on them, grab another one of the cards, let it unroll real fast.
And just literally stick it on there?
Yep. If it's kind of later in the set, I might just let it go. Since I am a manipulator on stage, I'll pick up the card and like back palm the card, do the Roy Benson thing, which sucks because I have people behind me a lot of the time. So I'll actually like...
For them, it's a lecture.
Well, I kind of clue them in that like, I'll even go, like I'll vanish the card, go like this, go shh, and then like that. And it's kind of, I let them in like, oh, we have a little secret together. Here, come closer, don't tell them, you know. And they think like we're friends now all of a sudden. But I learned card manipulation. And so if I break and it's later in the set, I'll vanish the card for a little bit. What sucks is when, if it's, I've broken on the coin where I was not too far into it, and so I'm just up there like doing like a one coin routine with a penny, and it just looks terrible. Mm-hmm.
It's like the vanishing dime by Steve Martin in a Coliseum.
Yeah, it's pretty much that. If it breaks, like I said, too early in the routine, you can reset right in front of them. And with the devices, I find you can't do that. I think you're, like I said, you're in the back going, fixing them or dropping another refill in, and it just seems expensive.
Do you think you need a string right now, or do you think you've covered it pretty well?
Oh, for
a visible string.
No, I think. Any questions? Or I don't know.
Yeah, because I thought earlier when I said, do you have a string, I thought you said you did.
Oh, sometimes I have like the glow thread. I'll find it. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, it's $10. You got enough. You got plenty.
You already got it. I'm going home. Peace out.
Wait, you said you only do 12 minutes, right?
I do 12 minutes. That was it. 7 minutes at the castle. Like that's my favorite. Yeah. Especially if we have like a one show night. People are like, "What are you going to work today?" I'm like, "I'm going to work 7 minutes." So I don't really.
I've got 23 and a half hours to kill today. What do I do?
Tinder.
New wife.
I gotta get me a new one. It's gotta find somebody I hate and buy him a house. So
these are the lines, folks.
These are the jokes, ladies and gentlemen. Me and my ex, we just broke up. Oh, we were just different people. Like I was an Aries, she was a tramp. I'm just kidding. I'm not really an Aries. All right, so I'll show you guys something. Let's see. Okay, Pacho. There goes one. That's one. There goes two.
Practice, folks. Actual practice.
3 and 4. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Que pacho, no que no. Epale. There you go. So this is my Heaven's Aces routine. You actually inspired this. I saw you do Phoenix Aces at your lecture in Vegas, and I was never good at this move. I never made it look like I saw you do at the lecture. So around the same time, I saw Ricky Jade. He had a special. We had a trick called the Laughing Joker trick, and it was kind of like the version of Phoenix Aces that you do. And he did where four jokers changed to 4 aces, and he used it as a change.
You know what? That's actually based on another Cliff Green thing from Professional Card Magic. It was something spade, I think, or ace.
The Laughing Joker trick?
Yeah, because it's because you're showing the same card over and over again, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
Well, then this move it gets kind of lost in history. A lot of people thought it was Dan Garrett's. It's fought if it's Baldassar Fuentes or Paul David from LA. Right. Paul David's a fantastic. I haven't seen that
guy in forever.
Since Wizards is the last time I saw him.
Is a freak.
Oh, some of the stuff he does, nobody knows. I mean, he has that thing with
the man with 2 first names. This guy.
That peak thing he does. Oh, I can't do it. It's amazing.
Oh, wow! I don't get crazy often.
So I couldn't, like I said, do. I wasn't good at that move, so I combined like the Laughing Joker trick and this change. So it starts in lateral palm. So there's a lateral palm action.
Doesn't matter if they're separated?
No. You want the cards as new as possible because when you're breaking them up like this.
One at a time from the top.
Yeah. So humidity also plays a very important part in this. So I've done like Miami and Jacksonville, and they get really sticky in my cards. So like get them as new as you can. So it starts in lateral palm. You can even put this on like a clip behind you if you want to steal it. I just steal it off the top of the deck.
Those kind of
bulldog clips, or even I think they're called like cotter pins. You can get them at Home Depot. That works.
Okay.
A safety pin or a paper clip works too.
Okay.
So like I said, it'll start in lateral palm, and really you just have to practice spinning the card. Okay, spinning the card.
It's right up your alley, Josiah.
So I think this is the hard part, is breaking one card up. So that's why you want them nice and new so they don't stick together or anything. You pull the card away, produce the next one. This is like my lobby trick for the magicians. I remember like when I was like 15 and there wasn't a lot of people like doing card cutting, flourishy stuff. And it's like I was like the kid doing them, and then like the Buck Twins came along and all that, and it's like now I look at it and everybody's like, I can't catch up. So this is my lobby thing to hang with like the kids. This is my lobby trick, you know.
How do you think I feel?
I don't know.
People like you came along, and then
it's gonna happen more.
I want to see the Buck Twins as being the old farts down the street.
Oh yeah. And then Andre Jinx, yeah, Andre Jinx used to live in my apartment complex when he was a kid.
Flourisher? Flourishing guy?
Yeah, the flourish guy. Yeah, he's cardistry.
Crazy guy.
He's nuts. What he can do. So he's produced a third one, and now you're going to do the change. So
they think those were all jokers?
Yeah.
Because you never showed the faces?
You just show the one face, yeah.
Each time? So
here.
There's one joker has appeared.
And here's pulling off the top
card.
Okay,
they think that's a joker.
Okay, so 2, 3. And so I think the change I think it's pretty hard. So with your thumb, you're going to grab the opposite corner of the middle finger.
Tilt it down a little bit so they can see it. There we go.
Okay. So now with your first finger, you're going to spin. Your ring finger is going to constantly like be used for support, like that. So you're going to break up the top card with your first finger. You're going to rotate it out. Now I'm going to say a lot in a very short amount of time. You're going to let go with your thumb at the same time. You're going to squeeze your first finger and middle finger together, like that. Now you're going to re-grip this card with your thumb. That'll free up your first finger, and you scoop this underneath. Your ring finger will kind of be used for support. You grab it and change. Slow motion.
Effortless.
And I'm not even Asian. Sorry. Think. Oh.
By the way, there's a line that I have that I got from who did I get it from? I can't remember his name. I'm not going to say the line then. Give me permission. Anyway, I do a Rubik's Cube, and I say I'm going to do this without being 16 or Asian.
Oh, is that Farrell's?
Farrell.
It's Farrell.
Dillon.
It's Farrell.
Thank you.
That sounds like a Farrell line.
Yeah, that's so fun.
You can use this as a control too. This is very impractical. It's just, like I said, a lobby kind of thing. But if you show, so I'll do it from the front first. So I'll just show the 3. 3 goes in the middle. You push it in, jumps to the top. So I mean, obviously a double lift is much more powerful and angle proof, but it's fun for the lobby.
Right
though.
place, right time. Yeah. With 3 people.
So you show the card, you break up the card, so you're gonna switch it out. And now, right before you would turn this over to show, you're gonna go, you lay it in the middle, this goes on top, you push it all together.
Or let them push it in.
So it's very impractical, but it's kind of a cool, it's just kind of a cool thing, I think, to show. So you show the 7, goes in the middle, and then you're gonna push that in there, goes back to the top.
So when the audience is lined up single file in
a
dimly lit
right
hallway,
here,
with one eye closed.
At a magic convention. And at a magic convention. So let's see. So I want to give you some trick content before we get into Inception. I liked, this was something neat, I thought. So this is obviously the setup, so this is kind of a neat thing. So I loved watching Doc Easton do the card under the drink over and over. I don't really do a lot of like tabled stuff, but I wanted a kind of a card under drink moment where I keep getting them with the same effect. I think this is Cellini's, the idea where they push the card in the deck and it's card to mouth this way. So they pick out a card. So this version of card to mouth I think is Cellini's, and they put it back. This one.
Cellini gets credit for that?
I think it's in the Royal Touch under Cellini. Yeah. And then as they tap it in, That whole thing. So that was going to be my card to mouth was going to be my card under the drink. So I wanted to keep getting it with card to mouth. So I added a little kicker to it. So you're going to take a joker or whatever, you tear off a corner, you set this on top of the deck. And now if you know like the standard card to mouth, nothing really changes. But you get a cool color change out of it. So they take out a card, you buckle the bottom card. Okay, you transfer everything. So you have the break. You swing cut the top half. Okay, they put their card back. Now you're gonna add the card on.
Push forward.
Push forward, the little add-on move. You turn your wrist over.
Show them where you added the extra card. Okay. I think most people know it.
Yeah. I remember when this wasn't a real standard thing. And it was like almost a secret and it was cool. And then now, usually as they go to tap this in, you're gonna place this in your mouth. But on this, what you're gonna do is get a double. And so now you have that little corner. Your teeth are gonna grab this card and your lips are gonna grab this card. So as they tap this in, you go teeth, lips. So now I keep them down here, I do some flourishes. I keep them looking down here, then they look up, they know I got them again. And when they look up, they go, and then you do this. And so all you have to do to make the change happen is you just smile. So when you smile, it's nice as it falls right into the little mix. There you go. So when you smile.
It fall on the ground? This is street magic?
That happens. Okay. Now the cards will, if you flick the cards past your mouth, it'll help knock it out in case it sticks to your lip or something. I'll do this not on Street Magic. I'll do this as a cocktail party thing. I'll do. So I'll have
everybody sees it all at once.
Everybody sees it all at once, and I'll have a few people hold open like a cocktail napkin, and so I'll use it like a net, and I'll do it over that, and I can grab the cocktail napkin from them, go on to the next thing. Do my 5 sets for the entire night.
By the way, I've done something similar, but I just do it as a top change without it being torn. Mm-hmm. And you literally can do a top change from your mouth.
Really?
Yeah. Try it.
So that was my way of like kind of doing.
Mine was not as visual as that.
I wanted something that was visual and maybe for magic competitions as well. I thought it was good. But yeah, just same thing. If you already do, like I said, the original card to mouth. I'm shocked that it's Cellini's too, but it's in the Royal Touch. If you do it already, it's pretty much already the exact same thing.
Yeah, who doesn't do this?
I know. I remember when this wasn't popular. It was like the mid '90s. I saw I remember Asher and Joey Burton were showing me this, and then all of a sudden
it was popular in the '80s.
Was it?
George, early '80s.
Hey, watch out. Thank you. All right, so
stuff.
We'll talk about. I think because I can talk about this last subject forever. It's the Bill and Lemon, so I'll do it for you first, and then we'll talk about it.
Oh, see if they. Oh my gosh, I've been missing all these questions.
What we got?
What we got? Greg's got no sound. Fixed a long time ago.
Hot. Hot will make.
No, a lot of people said that. Okay. Hey, it's all about sound. No questions for you.
Perfect. All right, I'm covering it perfectly.
Hey, if you guys have any questions, are you kidding? Just the Hummer card alone. Now, do you still call it the Hummer card?
I put it out, actually, my own version. Houdini's, when we sold the DVD, we didn't show you all the moves to go with it. So actually, I put it out with Murphy's. It's called Fly By Night. And it gives you all of the moves. It gives you everything.
That's what I want.
Fly By Night. Just picked one up earlier.
I know.
So.
And you didn't hold anything back?
No. It's it pretty much is the entire the CD. I almost had to go into a second CD just because there's so much information.
I bet you Murphy's going to sell out of those because this.
And especially after I think after Masters of Illusion, because the way it looks surrounded or in the middle of the audience, the way we shot it looks incredible.
Now, what do you do with a driver's license or credit card?
What do you mean?
You borrow one?
You just borrow one, yeah. And you can, I can see with your character, especially with the Kavisa card, a lot of my friends would actually, when they gave the card back, they go, oh, and by the way, it's demagnetized now, It's just because they think it's a magnet that's floating it.
Oh, funny.
So, did you have a bill on you?
I do.
All right, so So we're gonna do something impossible for something impossible. I need to borrow a $20 bill or higher.
It's impossible getting money
there you
from
go.
me. Oh, by the way, you must hear tons of great lines from the spectators you incorporate in your shows, right?
Yeah, there's some that were pretty funny that have made it in. Yeah, some, I'm not sure if I can say some of them.
I'm going to show you something impossible. Can I borrow a bill? No, that'll never happen.
Yeah. Oh, tell my wife. Da, da, da. I mean, I get the whole, my wife won't let me. That's when I start, you and me in the past have talked about like dynamics of people and alphas and betas and all that. And that's when I just openly insult the guy. I go, okay, do we have an alpha who actually saved their money for Vegas? And I pretty much insult him. And I'll show you how I insult him later with the inception.
Get to the insults.
Yeah, I got to get to the insults. So.
Can I borrow, I had the line, somebody said this once, can I borrow your ring? Like from the wife? Oh, you got to take the bills to go with it.
Whoa. Oh God, especially if I start dating a new girl. It's like, oh, you disappeared on me, and I hate it. So anyway, so Craig has committed what we like to call here in America a federal offense. All right, we didn't set this up before the show or anything like that. We're gonna do all the jokes. So hold out your hand flat like a table. All right. So we did not set this up. So if it's a girl, there's a lot more lines. Go ahead and squeeze really tight for me. Tight, 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 like this. Tight, 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 tight. All right. This is awesome. That would have been good though. That would have been good. Well, it was really nice. I got to go. Oh, it's only $1. Damn. We'll get back to your dollar or peso or Canadian money. I like Canada. The white Mexicans. Okay. So at the end, I do something disgusting.
You can get away with more on this street.
So at the end, I do something disgusting with a knife. So when I whip out the knife, whip out your cameras, iPhone, BlackBerry, Cricket if you're poor, and video away. Or Metro PCS, depending on your area. Okay, medium piece, and then so these get handed out to the people. I go medium piece, that always goes to the woman in the audience. I go long piece always goes to the guy who lent me the bill. I go long piece, I go, you donated, sir, I like you. And then for the guy who's been a dick the whole show, you go, nothing personal, there you go. Oh, sorry, what the, Sharpie. Screw you. All right, stretch out the rope. Make sure it's not like a bungee cord or anything like that. It doesn't stretch, doesn't come apart. The ends aren't magnetic. And then they'll do the same thing. You do the same thing. They all stretch out their ropes. So we're going to do the optical illusion, trick that made Ray Charles blind. He was really blind. Don't laugh. Stevie was putting it on, but Ray really was. All right, I saw the movie. All right, so long, medium, and small. Now, I actually do this to music on the streets, but let's go long, medium, small. So that's the optical illusion in this light. See, they all look the same. See, that's 1, that's 2, that's 3. Go like this, David Copperfield. We'll do it again. 2 pieces, actually 1 piece, much easier, just like that. Watch the ends of the rope. The ends are the confusing part. Watch H to the is O, V to the is A. There you go. So there's all the music. Go like this. Everybody claps. And then
perfect cover.
And then you go. You're still here. Okay. Fix those ends. And then one more time. I go 1, 2. It's almost over. Hang in there. There you go. And back to the beginning. At the beginning, that was the small piece. That was the long piece. That was the medium piece. 1, 2. There you go. And then you go, all right, we're gonna do the bill trick again. Give me another 20. Don't be cheap about it. It's for the kids. Okay. So something disgusting. I'm just kidding. All right, you guys are sick. You are forgetting about your money. You are getting sleepy. Okay, hands are empty. Shoot. Gotcha. Inside the bill, inside the lemon is a bill. Not only is it a bill, it would be impossible if it had your name all over the face of it, just like that. Souvenirs, yay.
Oh, you know what? That's all wet and disgusting.
You just keep it. There you go.
Get yourself something pretty.
So, Bill and Lemon, I did restaurants for a long time, and it was not a fun experience for me. I know a lot of people are great at it. Garrett Thomas is fantastic at it.
He's 7 restaurants a week.
I know, he rocks it.
By the way, before you go on, I love me a good 1,000-timer.
A good 1,000-timer?
Oh, there's just, you've got this sucker down.
Juggling is good for street performing, but it's illegal. In Vegas, juggling is illegal for street performing.
Anything, you're a bad catcher.
Anything that leaves your hand, you can't do. So that's why I even like tossing cards and stuff.
True story.
Yeah, you can't juggle. You actually get fined for that.
What?
It's because it leaves your hands, and it said because you don't have control over it. Even if you're a good juggler, you can't juggle in Vegas or on the streets.
Is floating card juggling?
I don't want them to catch on to that. I never thought about that, and I've hit people in the eye with a card a few times when it goes around the body and breaks the thread.
Are you kidding? Because it's uncontrollable?
It's uncontrolled, and it leaves your hands. It projects out of your hand, they said. Yeah. So
get that rule changed.
I'm not a juggler.
Yeah, what do you think? You don't want any competition.
I don't want more visual artists out there. I want more homeless Mickey Mouse, and SpongeBob SquarePants. That's what I want out there. That's not a comparison. So I wasn't good at restaurants at all, and I was really bad at making tips. And I was like calling my girlfriend. My girlfriend was like going to break up with me at the time because I wasn't making enough money. She wanted me to quit magic at the time, and I would literally go to the car, like cry, and like call like Sean Farquhar and Scott Alexander. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Like, can you please help me? And so Scott sent me his lecture notes, and a lot came out of those lecture notes. My tips went from $80 a night to $300, like the next day, just doing Bill and Lemon.
You got the lecture notes from him for free?
Yeah, he's a teacher of mine and a buddy.
Just by crying?
Just like, I was sobbing, I had to take my manhood down, but other than that. And then Sean sent me the Omni deck, and between the two of them, I noticed my tips really went up, and the lines they gave me with them. But this is the daddy of them all. I've got a lot of quotes for this. It was one of the highest selling tricks a few years ago. I've got like 36 quotes from the top and the best, whatever. My favorite quote is a friend of mine who is now putting out products named Sean Scott, and he said the difference between this trick is paying the rent and not paying the rent. And a few of my newer students, I've got to watch them go from $60 a day, $80 a day to $300 a day, all because of this trick. So there's a lot with the Bill and Lemon that gets overlooked. So number one, I think personally, I do this trick a lot. I think that the signature is the only way to do the trick. I don't believe in serial numbers or torn corners. I think it's the weakest. It's the worst verification
Here's confirmation.
System.
You gotta.
So I'll show you the 3 endings. So let's say with the signature, you go inside the Lemon is a bill. Not only is it a bill, it's a 1. Not only is it a 1, it'd be impossible if it had your name on it, just like that. When I open up the bill, the trick is over. For a lot of people, the trick is over even earlier because they can see the red Sharpie bleeding through the bill if it's nice and soaked. I didn't want to get everything dirty, but I usually squeeze the lemon to show it's real and to kind of soak the bill more.
To squeeze the lemon.
Squeeze the lemon, like as soon as I open it up, I squeeze both halves to show it's a real lemon and to really like soak the bill. So let's say torn corner. So you go inside the Lemon is a bill. Not only is it a bill, but it's missing a corner. Do you have the corner? And then they get out the corner.
Verifying.
So, sometimes that you work the castle close-up room a lot, and there are some really drunk crowds you have to deal with at the castle. I've had a lot of the time, you can take the corner off and put it on their lapel or keep it out in full view the entire time. I've lost that corner at least 6 times in the close-up room. I had a lady, it fell into her wine, and she never found it, so now you never can verify the end of the trick. One guy he couldn't find, he put it in his pocket, and the corner is that big, he couldn't find it.
You can verify she was a drunk.
Yeah, pretty much. She found it in the palace like 2 shows later. And so she finished her wine and was like, oh, I'm like, really?
She came down and told you?
Yeah, she came and showed it to me. I was doing John Carney's Fruit Cup, where you tear out, it's a torn corner thing. And I was in the close-up room, and I had my 3 little lemons for the 3 shows for the night. I had the corner here, the corner here, the corner here. I was the late performer. The early performer came backstage. As he got off stage, he didn't see any of my stuff. So he put his suitcase here. These all got mixed up. So now I don't know which corner matches up to this. Now I'm running around the castle trying to find more lemons. If you do get tipped.
So you're running around the castle to find him.
I know. And then I knew it was. I'm like, it was an accident. But if I'm getting tipped, I don't want to be taping corners back together all night. That's another thing. When you do finally get the corner, if you've done a torn corner, you know this is how it works. You go, and does the corner match? And they always go, yeah. And that's your like big ending. Oh, yay. That's your big closer. And then I think the worst is serial numbers. I think.
Wait, trick's not over yet. Is it a 5? Is it a 3?
Yeah. I don't think people like 30 and under even understand what a serial number is. I think it's more of an old person thing.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Just, not your people. You mean you people. I don't think they know what a serial number even is. And because of like copy machines and printers and all that, I think nothing's like
my
your
people,
signature.
counterfeiters.
You counterfeiters, yeah, thieves. Nothing's like your signature. Like your teacher made you practice your signature in school. Like that's why we sign contracts with it. I mean, our signature is very personal to us. Serial number has nothing to it. You know, it's a really bad ending. Torn corner and serial number. You have to use a phrase that I personally think is the worst phrase ever said in the magic world, and that is, you're going to be the eyes and the ears of the rest of the audience. I think that's the dumbest phrase of all time. I paid my ticket money like everybody else. I want to see the trick. You know, and people do like the Kranz medallion, and they say, all right, now you be the eyes and the ears of the rest of the audience. Tell the audience, what does it say? Like, if you could predict 3 numbers and put them on a medallion, why wouldn't you predict 3 numbers and put them on a giant piece of paper that everybody in the theater could see? I don't know. Weird magic powers. Also, I know I'm a performer, so if I read the serial numbers off, I know how to like make my voice go
Project
up
and be theatrical.
But now I'm reading it, so if you give it to the spectator,
well, you say it and let them verify it.
And if you give it to them to do it, they don't know what they're doing. They might ruin your ending. It's a really drunk castle night. The lady might be up there for 20 minutes going, oh, and you don't know if their vision is good. It's awful. I think it sounds like the Jerry Lewis telethon. It's like
you're making somebody who never wants to. No one's gonna ever want to work the castle. It was a drunk castle night, and that was just him.
That was me. That was me and my ex. So, I think for number 1, sign the bill.
Red always or black?
Always red.
Yeah.
Because this stands out. This makes it a stage trick. I can do this for 1,000 people now. You can see that really
What's the
far
biggest
away.
Tip? You call it a tip? I don't know the terminology.
A hat.
The hat? No,
the hat.
With the people, the big group of people.
Yeah.
It's called a.
Oh,
I thought it was called gathering a tip.
Oh, the tip is at the end.
What'd you say?
The pitch, yeah. I mean, that's your
pitch.
crowd. What's the largest? Like 350.
Whoa.
Yeah. But like, that's why you need the milk crate and you need to have stuff that's up here because they need to be able to see it. And the bigger the crowd's going to get.
And do you have techniques for now everybody, you know, when it comes to tip time and?
Well, I say, so I vanish the bill. I hand out the ropes, and then right before I do the ropes to music, I say, so my tip line or hat line, say at the end of the show, the hotels do not pay us to be out here. Boo. Your support is overwhelming. You guys pay me to be out here. Yay. I was pissed too. But if you like the show, take $20, write your name on it, drop it inside. Yeah, you're my favorite. Screw the rest. If you thought it was okay, 5 or 10. If you thought it sucked, take 100, write your complaints on it, drop it in the hat, I'll read it tomorrow. That's when I say I don't drink, I don't do drugs. I'm trying to save up for my own show one day, so all the money you guys put in here goes to my own show one day. So don't come up to me after the end of the show and say, you should be on America's Got Talent, because I'm going to say, you should tip more. So anyway, and then I go, so speaking of money, so let's get back to your bill. Let's do the bill trick again.
I'm loving, if I can interject, if you love the show, please throw in a 20, and then maybe work your way down.
Yeah.
If it's good, a 10. If it's mediocre, 5. If it's a 1, your money's no good here.
The one there's performers who won't accept change. They won't take a handful of change. In the summertime, I average like $17 a day in change. So like I have the little Sparklets bottle at home, and by the end of the year, it's all full. It's like $5,000 or whatever. I used to say, remember at the end of the show, some of you guys went and paid $110 for Chris Angel, and that show sucks. So if you guys liked what I did, $20 is a really good deal. And I don't have the list.
You just say it flat out like that?
Yeah.
You saw Chris Angel, and well, we know where that got you. At least something subtle.
No,
you're on the streets. We don't do subtlety here.
No, we don't. And especially Vegas and Fremont, people are really drunk at, from 9 p.m. to 1 a.m. They're really drunk.
You're not going for subtlety.
No, like you have to
no nuance.
No nuances. The jokes have to, and that's one of the jokes that basically layman gave to me. They said, "Oh, we just saw Chris Angel, and we spent $110, and that show sucked." And I was like, "Oh, that's a good line. All right." So I borrowed the bill. You want to do the other thing I learned out of Scott's lecture notes was it's kind of a joke in the act where you say the higher the bill, the funnier the trick. You really do want the higher the bill because they're more emotionally invested in it.
That line's from my show.
What's one?
Yes, the bigger the bill, funnier the trick.
Is it?
Has been for.
I think I stole it from Terry Seabrook or something like that. I don't know.
Is that who I stole it from?
I don't know. It's funny when you start to I went to see Matt King again like a few weeks ago. And a few lines, I'm like, oh, that's where I stole that from. I need to cut that. Oops. Like you've seen sometimes you see these acts for so many years.
There's like two lines in my show. Two lines in my show I can't get rid of it. And one of them is, I'll keep doing this till you like it.
Yeah.
And the other one is something like, what do you guys see this every day? I mean, those are just they don't feel like they're anybody's.
Yeah. That and I'll do it again due to the amazing lack of response I got the first time. I use that a lot.
There's two ways to do this. With applause and the way you did it.
Yeah.
Hey, they were in somebody's show to begin with.
Yep.
And they were brilliant then. That's why they're stock now.
You know what?
Which is why I hate working the castle.
It's my fault I picked you. It's still really good. It's still really good.
I've used it more than once.
I use it a lot for the girl who tosses me the rope. If she misses the toss, I'm like, it's my fault I picked you. It still kills. It's like the UFO. People thought, it was too hack, and they just never do it. Like we're here for like the secrets of like magic. Like we go to a magic lecture, and we want to hear like something that's going to change everything. I have this little secret, and no one likes to hear it, but it's just you just have to do it.
This is why when people talk about when it comes to theory and psychology and all these principles of deception, this is the real gold.
Yeah.
The tricks. I mean, the tricks are great.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but that other stuff is hard fought and blood bought from the streets.
And I'll tell you how this was developed in a second. So, but yeah, get a red marker and get a really thick red marker. Even when I saw some performers on America's Got Talent this year, they did like build to impossible location. And on TV, you couldn't see the signature because the black ink blends right in. When you're going to foreign countries, I have a whole bunch of markers since it's different colored money. You just want it to stand out the most. So like with the red, like Canada has a red bill, I use a green signature. So with Canada, that's the goofiest money because it's that plastic money. So when you do fold up the bill to load it into a lemon,
be careful. Boing.
It's going to just pop right open. So I put a little rubber band around it to keep it closed. Even if you crease it, it's going to open up on itself. It was kind of a joke on me because I did a show up in Vancouver. And I make like 10 Canada jokes. And as soon as I let this fall into the bag, the thing completely opened up on me. And I'm like, oh, they got me back. And all the Canadian magicians in the audience knew what was happening. Like, oh, he forgot about our plastic money. And it was just opening up in the bag. So the trick comes from Emil Jarrow in the 30s.
Wait, I want to hear your...
what?
Give me two Canadian jokes.
Well, Celine Dion on a horse going to a bar. Bartender says, "Why the long face?" The horse says, "Man, she gets that all the time." And then I do the, Canada, the white Mexicans, yay! I have a Canadian mowing my lawn. So,
by the way, true story. I was in Canada and I bumped into a guy at the Vancouver airport. What did he say to me?
What? Sorry.
He said sorry. He said sorry to me. They are so overly nice and polite. And I told this story. And I forgot this part. I called him on it. Wait, I bumped into you. What did you say? He said sorry. You know what he said then? Sorry about being sorry.
That's funny.
That I told this story when I was in Alberta to a girl. She goes, "Oh, you must be from America." I said, "Yeah." She goes, "I'm sorry."
Nah, sorry. But get like 100 is the best, So I'll show you some techniques that. So the first time this will be actually released to anybody.
What do you hold them back here?
This I'm going to give you something really good now. One thing I started doing, and it was, I said to somebody who's got a $20 bill, and a whole bunch of people pulled out money. I was like, damn, now I'm picking this guy wearing a nice watch. I'm looking at his shoes. Is he on a date? Is he married? Is he an alpha? Is he a beta? Does he want to show off with money? So the one day, two guys were really both adamant about me using their bills. So I do it with two bills most of the time now. So I borrowed two $20 bills from the audience. I put them together. They both sign them. They both go into the lemon the exact same way, which I'll show you in a minute. But the best thing is, at the end of it, when I pull open the lemon, you have the two bills. It has a nice like visual picture of the two bills. You show both bills, everybody claps. And now when you go to give them back, hopefully you're starting your hat at $40 instead of $20. What's really nice about this, when I start to give these back, if he says keep it,
pressure, yeah.
He says keep it, this guy's gonna automatically let me keep it. And what's really nice is if this guy doesn't let me keep it, this guy feels bad for me and lets me keep it. So no matter what, I'm always gonna get one of the 20s. So instead of just getting a 20, I'm hopefully gonna start my hat off with 40. Just before leaving town, I did it with 100 and a 50, and both of them let me keep it. So before one person put $1 into my hat, I started my hat at $150. So that's like one of my big secrets, is letting people do like the two bills at once.
What's the most you ever got in one?
287.
287.
And it was 9 people. And the bigger the crowd doesn't mean bigger the hat.
Because they feel...
well, they can escape easily.
They can escape. Yeah.
So that's why eye contact is very important when you're doing your pitch, because it's a guilt trip. It is a total guilt trip. I'll sit there with my water and making eye contact with every single person in the audience. And it's just it's a giant guilt trip. Does
that ever translate to your stage show with good eye contact now?
Yeah.
Because you're doing manipulation stuff, and it's usually a hot floodlights on you.
Yeah.
You're still getting eye contact, at least the front row.
For some, yeah. Some, depending on the theater. If it's a big theater, sometimes it's really tough. A room like the Castle, it's such a small room. You can hear everybody saying, you know. Yeah. So Emil Jarrow came up with this in like the 1930s. Robert Houdin did Card to Orange, but signed bill to Lemon is Emil Jarrow. In the 30s, he was a pretty funny guy. Like while P.T. Selbit was touring and everybody was doing the sawing in half and promoting the sawing in half, he would promote sawing a lemon in half just to make fun of all the stage magicians. Then the trick kind of falls out of fashion to like the 80s. There's versions out there, but then in the 80s, Steve Spill was talking to Di Vernon, and they were talking about Emil Jarrow. And Steve Spill is really how the trick got repopularized. He was the one who came up with the idea of the crown bag. So I bought every single version on the market. I tried Torn Corners, I tried, you name it, I bought Scott Alexander's Final Answer with the marker. I bought everything. This is really practical. It's completely surroundable. I do it 360 on Fremont. That's the problem with a lot of street magic, especially cups and balls. Especially like the melon and stuff, is if you're over here, you see how the entire act works. Everything I do is completely 360.
Everything in your show.
You have to, because I don't want to cut off any of these people. I want their tip too, and if you can make it work for them, I mean, they'll tip you. So picking a lot of people don't.
So whose is this? A hybrid of yours?
So I started with just putting the lemon in my pocket with a hole in it. Then I noticed my dry cleaning bill was going up, and I didn't want to have it body loaded constantly. So just out of accident, I ended up with a crown bag, and I remembered
Crown Royal,
seeing Doc Eason do a version with the Crown Royal bag, which is a Steve Spill version. So there's a lot of, you can do bill to egg, you can do bill to orange. For some reason, bill and lemon I think is the most appealing. The lemon looks weird. It's strange for someone to pull out a lemon. It's not strange for someone to pull out an orange. The bright yellow, it shows up on stage really good. There's something odd about pulling out the lemon. When you're picking out lemons, picking lemons is very, very important. The one reason that a lot of people like serial numbers and torn corners is you can preload the lemon and you don't have the stress of loading a lemon. So
But you don't mind the stress because you're doing it in the Crown Royal bag.
And I've taken all the heat away from, so with Doc Eason and with Steve Spill, these guys are really good comics. They're fantastic comedians. With their routine, the lemon has a hole in it, okay? And at the end of your routine, you have to have the bill in your hand, go into the bag, find the lemon, find the hole, push it in, and pull it out all at the end. And all while I think the heat is on you. It's like the last thing. They've been holding the bag, who's got the knife. I think there's a lot of heat on doing all of this right in front of them. So what you do is take a lemon. If it has a nice flat bottom like an orange, it'll be very easy to load.
That's what you're looking for.
Yeah, you don't want it where it's like a nipple on both ends. You take the marker.
Every one of these were hand-picked.
Yep. Okay. So that's why if they
now
have
it's okay if it has a nipple on one end, like this
Yeah.
one, right? Mm-hmm. And then flat there.
Now
Is that flat enough?
There you go, perfect. Yeah. Now if it isn't, you can actually take and on the cement on the street, I'll actually flatten out the bottom of the orange and flatten that in a little bit. So.
Okay, and I was talking while you were doing that, so you just.
So you want to. I start with a pen sometimes. So when I read Scott Alexander's lecture notes, he talked about taking a Sharpie and making a hole like this. And so that's what I would have in my pocket. And so that way I can kind of orientate the hole with my pocket, you know. So be very like honest now, okay? So I wear my heart on my sleeve and I don't really care what people think. So my 20s were pretty crazy. I partied a lot. I've since kind of chilled out on partying, but I hated Fremont Street at the beginning. I was heartbroken over a girlfriend and all that. So in between shows, I would perform every hour on the hour right after the light show. In between shows, I'd run to the bar and just drink. Okay. So I thought if I can keep the marker in the hole as long as possible, right before I start the show, if I took it out, the hole would be really easy for me to load. I wouldn't be finding it. So I kept forgetting to take the marker out. I would be running from the bar, I'd be half drunk, and I'd constantly forget to take the marker out. It was the greatest thing that ever happened to me. So this goes into the bag.
The drinking part was?
The drinking part, yep. So you can use rope, so I do Professor's Nightmare. Oh, that got frayed. You can do Professor's Nightmare on the Inception DVD. I show you something with a center tear. Any other trick that can go into the bag as your like red herring. This is pissing me off. Okay. I like the ropes because I was
even this is your 1,000-timer fix. Come on, like right in front of us. I'll be right with you guys here.
So this rope is magiciansrope.com. My friend Danny sells this. It's a lot thicker. Farrell turned me onto this rope. I think some of the other rope looks like string on stage. This looks really good on stage and has a really good weight on it, especially if you do fiber optics. So I put the small piece in.
Part of it fiber optics?
Mm-hmm. I'm just like rope magic. I don't have much work on at all. I just basically just did fiber optics.
Tell them it's
fiber optics.
By?
Richard Sanders. And it's parts of Daryl's rope routine and tabouret and so long piece.
Cabaret.
And butter knife. Not a like really sharp knife because I don't want the cops saying anything to us. Point goes up. Now that's all very practical. If you're working at a comedy club, you can hang this on the mic stand. And if you're a stage illusionist, one of the hardest things is finding pieces in front of the curtain. This would just hanging on a mic stand is like 7 minutes. They can set props backstage. So I didn't like having body loads. I didn't like the lemon game. You had to go into a case. It wasn't very angle proof.
That was Alexander's.
No, that was Doug Malloy.
Doug Malloy, that's right.
This even, if I didn't break the cap off, you can hook this onto the crown bag so everything is self-contained. The other thing with the restaurants that I hated, when I would cut open the lemon, what did I do with the lemon now? I have to put the halves in my pocket. I don't want to leave them on the table and have them expose the hole. And so I would have to constantly like run over with the two halves of the lemon, try to be funny, and like run over and find a trash can and like run back to the table, all my ending trick. And I would lose the power of the people. What the cool thing about the crown bag is I have like a walking around like trash bag. So as I'm cutting open the lemon, they can take the bill out. I just take the two halves of the lemon, I put it back in here, and now it's kind of out of sight, out of mind. They don't think about it. And if a waiter was going past me, I could just grab the Crown bag and I would hand it to the waiters. They would go dump the lemon for me.
He knows.
Yep, and they would just go. Whoosh.
Do you tip him later?
Yes, I always tip my waiters. Always did. And since I was a server as well, I knew all the terminology, and I would actually, my one restaurant, they knew I was a waiter. I was doing daytime waiting tables at Lone Star, and nighttime I was doing restaurant magic. So they knew I was a waiter. So if they had like an order of 20 people, they'd be like, Chris, can you help serve the So I'd be in my suit. I just did magic for you, and now I'm coming out with like 3 plates up here, 3 plates up here, and serving people. So I hated restaurants. For the streets, like it's literally, if you don't do this trick on the street, you're giving money away. It's like you're just watching money walk away.
Well, you could use the knife.
That I'm mod today. The other thing I think with this trick, like I said, you want to get the highest bills you can, and really kind of push for it. And that's when I'll fire my crowd the most. Is if I say I need a $20 bill or higher, and everybody keeps pulling out of 5, keeps pulling out of 5, keeps pulling out of 5. I go, if you guys don't have a 20, I don't really care. We will stop the show now.
You say that?
Yeah, I go.
You don't say that.
I'll say, you guys come closer, come closer, come closer. If you guys want to stay, that's fine. I don't really care either way, but we can't block the walkway. And as long as I say, get out of the walkway, you guys get the ticket instead of me. And you guys all heard me say that, right? Good. Okay, so either come closer or take the ticket here in the cops for a second, which is a total lie. Complete lie, you know. It's like the cops won't give them a ticket for impeding traffic. They won't even give it to me. Like, that's their job to.
It's street talk. You guys get tougher out there.
Oh yeah. Like when we didn't have the spot system and characters would just set up on us, they would set up like right on you. So we would
Characters. You mean
characters.
like
SpongeBob, Showgirls, everything. So let's say it was Mickey Mouse, and so at the end of my show,
is that legal? Disney
did. They did do a sweep a few times where they did hand out some cease and desist. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I noticed that Mickey and Minnie turned into like flower twisters. It's like I don't know.
There's a Disney mafia out there.
There's like a homeless like school where they like teach every few years. They teach something new. I think it's like silver gold statues that smell like urine for a few years. Then it was Mickey and Minnie, and now it's palm twisters. So anyway. So I love to fire the crowd at that point. If I don't get the 20, I'm like, all right, you guys are out of here.
You're fired.
So if we had Mickey and Minnie right here, I'd say at the end of the show, the hotels don't pay some of us to be out here. If you guys liked my show, put some money in. Well, some of the characters are paid, like, Mickey and Minnie right here. Fremont pays them to be out here, so you guys don't have to tip them whatsoever. You can have as many free photos as you guys would like. And Mickey and Minnie are like, stop saying that. I'm like, no, get away from me then. And within like the second show, they're like, let's get this guy's an ass, and walks away. My favorite is the 2 show.
I want to hear Mickey and Minnie go, you ass.
I know, it's like my favorite.
Son of a.
My favorite is Showgirls. Showgirls are by far my favorite when they would set up and they would think, like sex appeal is going to beat magic, and it's not. So what I would do is I would look at the audience and I say, we're going to play a little game right now, and the winner gets $5. Which one's a dude? And so, out of the 2 girls, they're both sitting there, and like one's going to be prettier than the other. So the audience votes on which one they think is a guy, and the other girl, the girl's the pretty one. She wants to stay and hang out there, but the other one's like, let's get out of here. And so I've embarrassed her so bad that I have the space to myself.
Which one's
I have a lot of friends, So
that's why you carry the knife now.
Yeah, I have a friend who does carry mace and everything on him for out there. Yeah. And you're in a very sensitive situation where I have a nightmare constantly that my 2 big nightmares. Great, I'm going to tell you guys my nightmare, and then you guys are going to go do this to me in Fremont now. I'm afraid that one day when I put the knife.
Whoa.
When I put the knife up to my eye, I have a feeling one day that someone's going to bump me, and the knife's going to go in my eye, or I have this like nightmare that when I'm on the ground, like someone's just going to walk up and like kick me because my face is I'm so vulnerable.
Your face what? Oh, because you're doing.
I'm like this, and I'm not looking, so I always have like a bad image of someone just walking up and just kicking me in the face. I have like the nightmare all the time, that and the performer's nightmare.
I think you can say something like lemon juice in the eye.
No, so I did have a homeless guy steal. So I used to have like 20 lemons in a little fold-up box, and I would just have them out there. And it was when I was developing the routine and trying different stuff. He had watched my show a few times, and he took the entire box of lemons, like 20 lemons, and ran down the street with them. And then the cops went and grabbed him, and they're like, "What the hell did you steal 20 lemons for? And he goes, there's $20 in each one of these. So the cops brought him back and they're like, do you want to press charges? I'm like, no, it's great for my lecture. Like, I let him go. It's
Good
funny.
For the story.
Yeah.
I thought he was just crazy. He's like, "Ah."
He watched the show that many times where it really fooled me, thought they had to be preloaded. And I even said to him, I was like, but what about the signature? And he goes like,
that's the magic part. I don't know. That's why I'm homeless.
Yeah. That and meth.
I kid. Is it fuzzy meth?
I don't know.
The new meth?
The new meth?
No, nobody? Nothing? Math?
I haven't tried the new meth yet.
Okay. All funny in my head.
I still got my teeth, you know.
Yeah.
So I borrow 2 bills. And if I can't get the bill out of somebody, sometimes I will just take the marker, toss it to the guy I know has the money, and just say, if you have a red marker in your hand, pull out $20, write your name on it. And it's not a whole who's got money situation.
Are you looking cut of clothes, shine of shoes?
Watches, shoes, guys on a date, not guys who are married. Women is tough. Women is the hardest one to get the 20 out of and have them let you keep it and everything. Women's really tough. And, you know, I was a waiter for years, and you can kind of start to gauge, you know, even through ethnicity, who's going to do it. Like,
come on.
Mexican people will always tip $5. They're perfect for it. Like,
always a
server, if their bill is $100, they'll tip $5, and if their bill is $5, they'll tip $5. So I know, like, okay, they're good for $5. They're good for $5. Like, this guy, I don't know. Like,
what about the guy behiing the camera?
Australians and Canadians are by far the best tippers for me. Australians, I notice, just give away money. Flat out, just white people, you never know. You really don't know. Let's see. Black people don't tip. They just don't. Even when I was a waiter, like my other black friends who were waiters were like, "Oh, I don't want that table. We don't tip." I'm like, "Okay, I'll go do magic for him then." All right, and then as we know from David Blaine's specials, like black people are the best ones to do magic for.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God!
So you get people freaking out.
So then I would always start with like a little Asian girl or a black lady for the card, because when she goes, everybody's, what just happened over there? And now your crowd gets really big.
Asians, come on.
They're the best.
Okay.
But they don't tip.
Their socioeconomic status
they don't
is the
tip.
highest now.
They don't tip. It's actually insulting in like Japan to tip. It's like an insult.
We're in America now.
I know.
All right, what do we got?
So borrowed both bills. Bill switch, standard bill switch for the fold. So I take both bills.
But not a switch, just a ditch.
Yeah, or you can do a switch if you want, but I just do the same fold just to fold the bill.
Right.
So it's left to right, bottom to top, left to right, bottom to top. And when you get to this point, you're going to take and fold the bill one more time in half. So this is the only time with the 2 bills it's harder. With 1 bill, it's not as hard. So this makes like a little bullet. Okay. I just do a thumb tip. I have them hold out their hand. I do an old joke even the way I handle the thumb tip is very Bill Switch-like.
Can you turn a little bit so that...
Very Bill Switch-like. So I just go here. I have them hold out their hand. They squeeze, and it's the old joke. That would have been cool.
That wasn't clear with me. Would have been cool what? That it went to my hand?
Yeah.
Okay.
You opened your damn hand too fast. I was like, damn. So you have them squeeze your hand tight. You go like this.
Do you tell them the bill's going to appear in your hand?
I say something impossible is going to happen, and they think that now.
Okay.
So I go like this, a lot of tension. They open. That would have been cool. Everybody relaxes.
Yeah.
And you have your 2 bills right here. Now, I don't do any of the little Frankenstein thumb tip moves.
I've talked about that.
I kind of clap all the time like this, keeping the thumb tip back here.
I like that.
It's just very casual, and then I take the
Who
bag.
was the first person that started that?
I don't know.
Some guy at a magic shop said that. What is lightning bolts? What are you,
the
Thor?
Frankenstein.
Exactly.
I don't know.
Zeus.
So now you take the bag.
Did I say Thor?
You toss this over. So now you're covering the thumb tip. So you're not using it that much. The thumb tip is so in and out of play so fast, and I even have something if they think they saw the thumb tip that I do. So now,
what do you say?
Oh, it's great. I'll show you. Okay. So now I take the thumb tip. I go into the bag. As I open the bag, I'm just letting the thumb tip fall off and retaining the bills.
Oh.
So I go like this.
I didn't know that.
So now I go back into the bag.
Oh wait, you dropped the bill too.
Mm-hmm. So I'm just separating the bill from the.
Oh, okay.
So as I go like this.
Got it.
Now I go and I find the thumb tip, and I put it right back on. So I look for the thumb tip, put it back on, and I grab the knife. I talk about the knife, the thumb tip goes back away, so it's out of play really early.
Love it, love it. What did you say about the knife again?
I say I'm gonna do something disgusting with the knife. At the end, when I pull out the knife, pull out your cameras, iPhone, BlackBerry,
that's good.
Metro PCF if you're poor, you know. Depending on where you live. So then I do long piece. This goes out to the guy you're hoping to get the tip from.
You never accidentally pulled the bill out to the bill?
Yes, it has. And you gotta. That's why the larger bag is better for that, because the bill can find its way to the bottom. If it's too small of a bag, yep, I pulled this out and the bill right there on the ground. I just step on it, keep handing out the ropes, and then I drop the marker later on in the set. When I do the whole Sharpie joke, I just go down, grab the bill, stick it right in.
Good.
Small piece goes.
If you don't have horror stories in your show, you don't work enough.
Yeah. I'm in that one book, was it Magic's Most Amazing Stories, and it's all just horror stories of everybody. Yeah. Mine's a really bad competition. So here's what makes Inception different than other Bill and Lemons. Because of my drunken accident, a friend of mine walked up and went, "Man, that is really clever, the new Bill and Lemon you're doing." I didn't really get what he meant, and so he really came up with the trick. Had he not said anything, I don't know how history would have changed for me. He was like, "It's really clever that you leave the marker in there to orientate the hole." I was like, "Oh,
yeah, that's exactly what I do."
I'm putting that on DVD. So
who was it?
A street magician named Adam Flowers. So I look in the bag. I can see the bill. I take the bill and I hold it next to the lemon. So inside the bag is this. Okay, so inside the bag I'm squeezing the bill next to the lemon. Now, because of the marker and the orientation of the hole, I know exactly where the hole is. I hand out all the props to them. I reach in the bag one more time. I do the Sharpie joke. Ow, Sharpie. As they do, they relax from the joke. Your hands just come together, grabs the bill, puts it in just a little bit, and your hands come away.
Don't try to push it all the way in at this point.
Yeah, you can do it through the bag.
Oh,
so
right.
You don't have to do it.
Good.
So it's like a hot plate. You just want to get in, get out as quick as you can. I do it as I'm instructing them, here, stretch the rope, stretch the rope, stretch the rope. Then my hands come together. And it's just that fast. With the thicker bills, sometimes it's going to be more of a push to get it in there. But
when you have two of them.
But it's so worth it. You can't do three. I've tried.
Greedy bastard.
I really tried. And the other idea was I wanted to fold the bills separately, so that way when you split the lemon, one would be in each half, is the eventual idea. So now,
Did you ever get that to work?
not yet. So the bill gets loaded. I'm just squeezing it right through the bag. I'm actually closing the hole up through the bag as I'm talking.
Now you talked about earlier about squeezing the lemon so it soaks the bill. Are you squeezing it now?
Not too much. No.
Because you don't want the juice on your.
Yeah,
I'll
do it later. So now this stays in full view, and I think now you have such a good time delay that goes from when the bill was borrowed and all the proceedings of handing out ropes, and they don't really remember the procedure that led up to the rope routine going into the lemon being cut open. So now, if you have a card trick, if you have I do center tear, you can do ropes. You have as much time to kill with this trick, whatever trick you're going to do. So sometimes I'll put a deck of cards in there, and I'll take the deck of cards, hand it to the spectator, and say, take the deck out and start to shuffle. As you know, it's going to take a layman forever to take the deck out of the box and start to shuffle. You have all the time in the world to load this. You're not doing it at the end of the trick when all the heat is on you. You're doing it as part of the proceedings. It's what's nice is I can just perform now. I don't have to worry about the ending and me stressing out about loading the bill, the heat being on it, as we're like Doc Eason and Steve Spill. They have to do that. So I kill as much time as I can with the ropes. With rope magic, I have very little work on this. Like I said, it's fiber optics by Richard Sanders. As I get the pieces back, I just openly loop this around. I don't have a move for it.
You're not really teaching it here. You're just giving.
Yeah, I'll show you a quick rundown of it. Yeah, you do the stretch, My big key with rope magic is just not looking at my hands for like the count. So you do the false count. I just try to not look at my hands. Yeah. Bam. And then it's just the mid-air link, and you're switching the ends all the time. So because of the weight on these, it's got a good link to it. So
it's very magical. And that sands.
And then you're just switching out the ends. You're just switching out the ends. I never liked the ends across thing, but I use the song Paper Planes, and it fits the song. It has like this like shotgun and whoosh. So now I do like I do make them clap, and it's my cover to come over and re-steal the ends over here.
You did that for something else too. That was great. Coming up, I think.
Yeah, I do it. I switch it. Yeah, because I heard you go like. I heard you usually say like good cover or something. it's like I try not to be that magician sometimes when I watch magic. I don't want to like applaud when he steals the bird. I want to applaud when he opens and shows the bird is there.
Applaud on the pass.
Oh, I was going. Yeah. I did someone recently. I had to like contain myself with that. I was watching somebody and I was like, oh, that was good. Oh shit. So you switch the ends a few times. The only thing I think I have work with is the ends coming off. So I think a lot of people get this trick wrong. I see a lot of people where they pluck the ends off and they hold the rope like this. I think it exposes it's the small piece. If the idea of the trick is you're plucking the ends off of the rope, this would be two separate pieces, not one piece.
Oh.
So you're holding it as
I never thought of that.
Two pieces.
That's very clever.
There's a clever move that Shoot does where he lays it on their hand and then he comes over and it links back on, or the ends go back on.
You do a thing from the mouth. It looks great.
That's the only thing I've never seen.
Is that yours?
I haven't seen that on Richard Sanders or anything.
It's fantastic.
First, go here. Now, this looks like ends. Also with this trick, it could become like a tennis match. They can catch up to this move in a little bit. So what I do is I just
in a bad way.
Yeah, I change the moment a little bit.
And you go up and the side. And,
yeah. This I got from Chris Benz. Chris Benz does this in his rope routine, and it's really good.
Here's the part I love.
I do it from my mouth.
I think you did it from
It's just so I can talk. Here.
That looks so good.
And that reminds me of like my inspiration for that was like Joseph Gabriel. Actually, he opens with two fickle fires, and he goes to two birds like that. I remembered that was kind of my inspiration for this. Where's it go? There you go. So I switch the ends again. I tie it in a loop. Do the scissors. I do like all the acting parts, like scissors and goofy stuff. Like I think magicians forget like the acting part's the fun part, like doing like abracadabra or whatever. Like the acting part, once the move is done, that's like the fun part. Like my favorite part of the magic shop was the gag wall. Like when I worked at Houdini's, I sold more off the gag wall than in magic tricks. Just playing around and having fun with the magic. So I would always do the scissors or have a kid do it. Now I just go back to the beginning. You're just holding on to the medium piece. You're holding on to the bottom of the long piece. And now you hold the top of the short piece. They go back. Small, medium, long.
Is that yours?
That's just standard.
I've never seen it pull them all at once.
The one that I came up with is like the kind of flashy display I had at the end. So it's like this. You're going to hold on to the medium. I'm going to put the small piece in my mouth and grab the long piece and put it around my neck, like all in one little sequence. So it goes like this. Medium piece, small piece. And now, since I think the trick didn't really have an ending, even though it's not the greatest ending in the world, and then you can do rope through the neck. I'm not a big fan of this trick, as was said on Wizard Wars. I remember when I did it on Wizard Wars, and I was like, Penn goes, "It looks like you're not into that trick." I'm like, "I'm not." And there's a reason for that, but it gives it at least a kind of an ending to it. And I've killed like 3 minutes of time delay where they forgot about my hand ever going into the bag, me handing out the ropes. You're really creating a little legend now.
They didn't even know the lemon was introduced yet.
So that's a big problem with this trick. A lot of magicians, we have like magic-y thinking. And the worst thing is having the lemon introduced too early in the routine. Some people go, oh, well, he had somebody hold the lemon the entire time. If somebody's holding the lemon and the bill vanishes, the audience puts together really quickly, the bill is going to be in the lemon. If you notice, I don't introduce the lemon until the last possible second.
Never foreshadowed.
It's I don't like. It's not the pick a lemon trick. I know a lot of people go, well, then he can go over to a bowl of fruit and he picked any lemon. That's a different trick. This is bill and lemon. That's pick a card. It's not the pick a card lemon. I don't know.
It's not a bill in anywhere you want it to be. It's a bill where I choose it.
And changing the object doesn't really change a lot. Like, stick with the lemon. The lemon's really good. It's funny. It's different. It's very visible. Like bill and egg, it's never been bill and egg. It's always bill in crumbled up stuff in the bottom of a glass. It's never opened up and you see it inside of it. If I could see a bill and egg like that one day where it's cracked and you just pop it open and see it inside, that would be a good bill and egg. But those don't exist. So I see a lot of people trying to do walnut or something else. You want to mess up the bill. You want to make them not give it back to you, you know? The good thing about, I think bill and lemon is kind of like card on ceiling. Like, it locks the trick in forever. Like, the problem with card on ceiling is you have to go to that place to see your card on the ceiling. If they don't give me the bill, it's fine with me. They'll still tip me, but if they kept the 20, a lot of people want to keep the 20 and give me another 20. They want this as a souvenir. So I did the castle. I was when they were booking the hat and hair. So in the castle, you're going to have 2 guys in close-up, 2 guys in parlor, 3 guys in the stage, and random magic going around. So I did the hat and hair, and Johnny Depp came through. I did bill and lemon for him, and the next day he went to Starbucks. He pulled out his money. He didn't let me keep the bill. So he pulled out his money, and there was the $100 bill with his name on it. And the lady behind the counter was like, "Why is your name on that?" And he goes, "This was in a lemon." And he was able to now tell the whole story. As for all the card tricks, he probably forgot, you know, like, unless they're going away with something like, you know, like a mishmash
card. Now I know
card.
it was you, because he told me that story so many times.
Johnny did? Oh,
yeah.
Send him my love. Send him my
love. I hate when
love.
people drop names. I was just saying that to Jack Nicholson. Jeez.
Prick. But it was, you know, Latimer was in the close-up room doing his cups and balls. Like, he's not going to leave them with something. You have a really good mismade bill with a signature on it.
Oh wow! Remember that?
Like that,
yeah,
like
from
a mismade bill
book.
is a great trick, because now you've left them with this impossible thing where, like, now that legend can be retold and retold. If they don't let you keep the bill and they keep it, like, they'll remember it the rest of the night. Every time their money comes out and they see the red one, it's like a little topic starter for them the rest of the evening, where people are going. I'll have people come up to me the next day and they're like, "Man, we were talking about you all night," because they have like proof of this was in a lemon.
Let's get back to the part where Johnny Depp didn't give you the $100.
I know, really? That's what I said. Like, I just wanted it. I wasn't going to spend it.
How many movies have you boycotted now just to get him back?
I like Johnny Depp. It's fine. I did the 70s show, came in that week and did like their rap party, and none of them tipped either. But at the castle, we can't really accept tips anyway. So, I don't know.
Is that right?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
So yeah, I was kind of mad, but I loved it. So
Johnny Depp.
So he actually. So then,
give me a 5 at least.
So then once he went to Starbucks, he called the castle and said, "Who was the guy who did the bill and the lemon trick?" And he said, "You can use a quote from tell the guy he can use a quote from Johnny Depp if he wants." So that was cool. So I just haven't figured out which one I'm going to use. Like, greatest magician ever. I don't know. Like, who reads?
Yeah.
that?
So how did you
Who
end up
reads that
finding
crap?
out that he went to Starbucks and did all
The
that?
castle. I came in
Explain.
to work the next day. I was dating a girl in the office, and so she called me, you know, on her lunch break and told me. She was like, "Johnny Depp was called for you." I'm like, "How do you know it was me?" She was like, "You're the Bill and Lemon guy." I'm like, "Oh, yes."
That is totally cool. Great story. You know, I got a couple questions here. The first one is, who were you dating at the castle? Oh, no. No. How did you save yourself when you messed up a trick? He's not saying which one, but we've seen a million things you've already done.
Yeah, like I said, with the bill falling out, I had to step on the bill and just.
Okay.
You just got to relax. People don't know where you're taking them on your little magical journey. Only you give away when it's a real mess up. You know.
Yeah, they don't know.
I think about it all the time when I do the rings on stage, when I do my little switch. I feel when it's super perfect, and I'm like, "Oh, that wasn't a great switch," and people will see it. Even magicians are like, "It looked the same." Like, we know internally what feels like, "Oh, I hit it the best."
Technician.
Yeah, especially a manipulator. You know.
What does it say here? It says, I mean, what does this mean? Love the lecture. Hey, Greg, blah, blah, blah. You should jam with Chris about 7 digits.
Oh, that's my phone number trick. It was my way of picking up women. So it's, we're going to have two napkins.
Tricks for chicks.
It's just a way of giving out your phone number to girls. It was like the trick I did.
Giving your phone number out, not getting it.
You're getting hopefully their number as well. It's basically a long, fun like scam.
I think we're getting close to the end anyway because
it's a really fun little scam. It's online a few places.
Okay. No time to teach it or show it.
If we have two pieces of paper real fast, or a piece of paper, just tear that whole bottom part off. Yeah. Cool.
You need a pen?
And a pen, yeah. So this is the setup. So you're gonna write your name on one, and write a message to the girl or whatever. That's not my real number. Okay. So this is gonna be balled up in your hand.
And that's your phone number.
That's your phone number. Okay.
No, your phone number.
My phone number. So now I did this at Houdini's all the time. I would do it with the register tape as the girls were like out, and I would cash them out or whatever.
That's good.
So I'd pull the register tape, and so a bar napkin works really good. So you show the bar napkin on both sides. So what hand do you write with? Your right hand or your left hand? Here, squeeze with your right hand. Tight, tight, tight. It's better if it has a cap. Take the cap off. You go watch, squeeze tight. Did you feel that? I hate when women say that. I was in the pool. Open it up, check it out. A little Seinfeld reference. All right. He was in the pool. And if you need a tour guide of Las Vegas, now you know where to find one. Put that under your pillow in the morning. Guess what'll be there? Me. Leave the door unlocked. I'm not really Houdini. Watch, we'll do it again. This is the impossible part. Ooh, that was impossible. Now this is gonna freak you out. Wouldn't it be incredible if your number was on there? This is gonna freak you out. Open it up, check it out. This is like David Blaine with full sentences. So,
No.
like I said, wouldn't it be incredible
Yeah,
if your number was on there? And you just kind of turn and look away, and like it was great at the magic shop.
What was your percentage?
So I had to start writing little notes, like, okay, if I got the number, I had to write like, okay, brown hair, da, 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 da. And I'd kind of rank them. I'm going to hell for this, I know. I'd kind of rank them, and
Were you a good artist? Draw
so
them?
what sucked was if like girl left with her friends and then walked around in New York, in Vegas. Comes back and sees me doing it again. Now she has my phone number and she's angry.
Yeah.
So I had to change my phone number a few times, like where I'd be sitting there on the date with one of the girls I'd brought home, and you hear irate messages like while I'm sitting there in the living room, like, you gave me your number, I was robbed twice. This trick is...
Robbed?
I was robbed twice because of this trick.
By girls?
Woke up in the middle of the night and my Lassen coins were gone.
Wait. So you took them home.
Yep.
So they led you to believe that the trick worked.
Yeah, basically.
It was successful. Then they end up robbing you. Did they leave a note on the same paper?
One girl,
Why?
okay. So, all right, one girl, I won $2,000 at Caesars. Me and her hung out, and I had said something to her to the effect of, I had started the evening with $500. She took $1,500. She robbed me. She left me my $500 still, and then left a note like, "It's really nice meeting you." I was like, "What?" And she left a fake number. I'm like, "Why even go to that length? Like, just leave." But she left me the $500 that I started the evening with. So it was like basically money that was
She's a moral thief.
She was a moral hooker.
She's honest about her honesty.
This was, I think it's the only trick that I've ever been contacted by David Copperfield about. So David's never shown any interest in any effects that I've put out except this one. So I was Dan Sperry, when he first came to Las Vegas, I got him booked at the World's Greatest Magic Show with Kevin James, and so I was taking him around Vegas, and we went to the Pepper Mill, which is a really cool Vegas spot. We're sitting there hanging out and drinking, and my phone rings, and it was unknown call. I'm like, "Hello?" They're like, "This is David Copperfield." I'm like, "Yeah, okay." Click, and then Dan's like, "Who is that?" I'm like, "It's David Copperfield." I thought it was like Lee Asher or Aaron Fisher messing with me or something, pranking me in the middle of the night. Then my phone rings again, and it says Chris Kenner. I'm like, "Oh God." And then he's like, "Did you just hang up on David?" I'm like, "Oh, I I didn't know why would David Copperfield be asking about me, and he really wanted to know that he was asking, what's the line that you say to get the girl's number? I'm like, oh, wouldn't it be incredible if your number was on there?
So he had a hard time meeting women, is what you're saying.
You know, with billions of dollars, you know. But he thought it was like the slickest line he ever heard in a magic trick, he said. So I was like, oh, that was my moment with David Copperfield, was this trick, actually. It got me, like I said, robbed. I met some good girls.
I thought you meant like other magicians took the idea from you. Like Copperfield
the pickup artist guy published this and showed it on his TV show without my permission. Someone was working with him, and they were a consultant, and they showed him this, and all of a sudden it was on VH1. I'm like, oh, this is the trick I've probably reprinted more than anything. So my first DVD I ever put out was called Sweet.
Didn't Danny Archer have something to do with
Danny
that?
Archer put it out. It was actually the first magic DVD. Fun fact, it's the first magic made for DVD.
How was it?
It was awful. I was 21 and I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know how to put out a product yet.
There was two things on there I thought were good, and
this was on there. This was the only thing in the whole.
No, there was one other one. I remember enjoying, and I remember the number. There were two good things.
The fish.
The fish.
The fish. All right.
Yes.
Well, a lot of it became better stuff later. Like when I got my Mike Close review, instead of just being heartbroken that I got a bad review, I actually read it and took everything to heart and actually fixed everything on the DVD or cut it. But this was the one thing that Mike Close actually, in my very long 2-page review,
scathing,
long review in Magic Magazine. This was the one trick he liked, and it was because it had, like you said, the 1,000 shows on it. This is the trick I was doing all day for girls at Houdini's. You know, yeah, it's kind of fun. I don't really do it much anymore. I'll just force a card with my number on it to a girl, and that's a better way, I think.
It's so funny. I meet girls so easily now. I just
force a card.
I force myself on her. I mean, it's what am I? You know, Your Honor. I swear.
Let's go get a shot of roofies. I want to come up with a drink called roofies. That way, you say, all right, let's go get a shot of roofies.
You know, when I was at Magic Live, I was. These magicians, when they come from Hawaii, they give you gifts all the time. They give you food. So they gave me tons of candy. I couldn't eat it all. So anytime a girl came by, Cosby candies. Anybody? Cosby candies.
Beverages? No.
If you feel a little woozy, it's the magic.
My sister dated Bill Cosby. So anyway, she did.
Wow, did she know about it?
In the 70s, yeah.
Hey, listen, that was fantastic. Is there anything else you need to say about that?
So now we're getting back to the lemon.
Because we got to wind this up.
Okay, so some big things here. So I show my hand empty. I kind of do like an egg bag kind of move where I go like this. It looks like the lemon appears.
Okay, because they never know it was there.
I get applause.
It appeared empty.
I get applause all the time for pulling out the lemon, all the time. So now if you're in a restaurant, you can throw this over your shoulder. It's like a walk around like trash bag. Now you've worked really hard to get to this part. I think this is like the strongest trick in magic, in my personal opinion. It's taken me around the world. It's paid my rent, so I'm even here because of it. So a lot of people think that the knife actually can shoot the bill into it. So I make sure it's a really innocent looking knife, nothing fancy looking, because people think like,
one of these.
Yeah, if you cut the lemon very low, something cool happens half of the time. So I show my hand really empty. I don't want them to think I'm sneaking anything in. Like, you have like a miracle here in a second. Like, this is the acting part, and like play it up for all it is. So I show this. When I put this away, I make sure my hand is empty. They know I didn't sneak anything out of my pocket. Sometimes, as I was handing out ropes, I said earlier, sometimes if the guy is onto the thumb tip, I'll hand out a rope, hand out a rope, hand out a rope, and then to the guy, I'll just hand him the thumb tip. And he'll go, oh, okay. Like a lot of the times, I'll even say, like when I worked at Houdini's, I say a lot of people think the floating card is a wind machine that works in this spot alone. Some people think it's a magnet. Some people think it's a magnetic finger. Some people think it's invisible string tape behind my ear with wax on the card.
Fine.
Some people think it's, and I would flow it right into there.
You're doing it for yourself.
And people went into the back and they're like, he said that, you know? So one of the things I love is telling them the method. So if you cut it low, when you pop this open, the bill will go off into the other half. So the end with the hole on it is over here. So now as soon as this splits off into this half, I crush this and really destroy the evidence on this, okay? What's nice is now I
crush
can
and throw it away? Or
Yep. I get a little bin thing.
Okay.
So now I can say, look, inside the lemon is a bill. Look, no holes, no breaks, no openings. So if they did think in any way, oh, somehow there was a hole in it, then that's how he got in there. I address it on this half when I say, look, no holes, no breaks, no nothing. And even magicians, I could see their face like, oh, okay. I do this to music, and so I take the bill out, and I make sure that
do you ever let them take it out?
So we get to that right now. So like, I take it out because it's to music, and I want to hit the music cue, and I have beats.
Right, of course.
If you're doing it in a restaurant setting, so if you lend me the bill, you don't get to take it out. So if you lend me the bill, I'll have this person take the bill out. Okay? Here's why. This is your money, so you feel entitled to open it. This person, it's not their money, so they don't feel entitled to open it. So if I say to them, all right, you pull the bill out, they'll pull it out, and I immediately get it back. I want to control the ending. I don't want them to go like, because if I let you take the money out, it's going to look like this. I'll be like, and that's your bill, and then you'll get to pull it out, and the guy will go,
yeah.
Yep. And they'll just put
and
it
take it.
Yep. And so I don't want that, and the table didn't see it, nobody saw the trick, so I make sure to get it back. I try to leave like a lip, so when you fold the bill, don't fold it perfectly, that way it's easy to unfold.
Especially because of the lemon.
It's going to be really sticky. And this is a really nice moment just to go, you have like a split, you show both bills, hopefully they let you keep both of them. I'd never, unless if it's a restaurant, I'll let them pull the money out. I do like them pulling it out because some people think, oh, he switches it at the last second. I've heard that a lot. I think it's by far the strongest trick in magic. I do it like 6 times a day. Oh my God, I actually do the stuff I put out. What a concept these days. So like, I do this trick 6 times a day, every day. So when I would audition for shows, I would just do my street act a lot of the times because I had the 10,000 hours of doing it. Like that is the real secret of performing. Like it sucks that people don't want to hear this, is you just have to go do it. There is no, like if you sit in your room and with like notebooks and online and all that, it's like magic's losing that like interaction because of online and YouTube magicians. And I think like especially with like, I think with this trick, like I said, they're going to be left with something where they're going to walk around with this all day. Like, this is your souvenir. You'll remember me now. I think it's, like I said, the strongest trick. If you do street performing, if you do tips, you're kind of stupid not to do this trick or to do a version of Bill and Lemon or Bill and Lime. They're always going to leave you with the money. Like, I want to do 1 year where I just save all the bills that were signed for a year.
Funny.
I've paid my rent in just signed bills, and they'll say like magic sucks, I hate the magician, F you, girls' phone numbers, like everything possible has been written on the bills.
Take photos of them and put them in a little.
I actually have an Instagram, so it's Scandal Bills, and so people can hashtag them if they keep them. Or
Listen,
whatever.
we've come to the end. We just say, this is obviously a winner. It's a worker. It truly gets the money, and here's the proof: $1.
Bam!
Huh?
It's my gift. It's my pay.
Thank you so much.
It's my pay. Thanks for having me,
Randall,
guys.
thank you so much.
Thank
Conjuring
you very much.
community.
Grazie. I love you all. Thank you for putting up with me.